Good afternoon and good evening, and welcome here to Winterholder Field, third of our final three games here this afternoon on day one of the Upland bracket of the 2018 NAIA opening round baseball tournament. It pits Taylor, the 4th seed, and the hosts against number 1 seed, 7th ranked, 51-6, Oklahoma Wesleyan. They'll send Ryan Sandifer to the mound, 5'9" junior right-hander out of Washington. Sandifer a 9-1 overall record, a 2.19 ERA. The pitching staff for Oklahoma Wesleyan, best ERA in the country at 2.32. That's even more impressive when you factor in that they play in a park that's been nicknamed Barrelsville here over the last few weeks. We'll get into that here as we get going here. Wyatt Whitman, Josh Lane, Nathan Taggart, the normal three to lead off here for the Trojans. Watson, Weiss, Atkins, Kennedy, Lawson, and Colby to follow. The Trojans got to this game here tonight by defeating Northwestern in our first game of the day, 2-1 with 2 in the bottom of the ninth. Whitman goes after the first one here. Ground ball to Rodolfo Oleta. He'll whip it over to first, and Hunter Henry for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Taylor here in the top of the first as they try to get on Sandifer here early. The defense behind Sandifer tonight, John Lantigua isn't left. Last year's NAIA National Player of the Year, Chris Acosta-Tapia, is in center. Right field for Oklahoma Wesleyan is Colton Kelly. First one is Lane awaits the first one from Sandifer. Fastball down the middle at the knees for a called strike. Austin Soika, the best batter for Oklahoma Wesleyan, when they come to the plate, he plays third base. Oleta's at short. We just met him. Nick McGrew, a transfer. He's at second. Hunter Henry's at first, and Riley Peterson behind the plate. Coming inside is Sandifer. Fastball for ball 1. Lane was 1 for 4 in game number 1 earlier today with a double. Trojans had just 6 hits. Only were able to muster out 2 runs, both of those coming in the bottom of the first. Off speed this time from Sandifer, finds the middle of the zone to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Best team by a long shot the Trojans have played this year, and they played number 10 Kaiser to start the year. 1-2. Lane, high hopper left side, right to Oleta at short. Fields whips one right across, a low throw picked by Henry at first. And there are quickly 2 outs for the Trojans here in the top half of the first inning. And that'll bring up Nathan Taggart, the first baseman. As we mentioned, home field for Oklahoma Wesleyan on Twitter has been dubbed Barrelsville here in the last few weeks on social media. The town of Bartlesville, Oklahoma is where the Hawks call home. Both a center field fence at 355 feet, the corner to the left and right field corner just above 340. But the nickname has been dubbed Barrelsville. They actually hosted an opening round site a year ago. Off speed here from Sandifer, taken for a strike by Taggart. Every game in their bracket except one, both teams scored at least double-figure runs. The only game that didn't, Oklahoma Wesleyan defeated Indiana Tech by a final of 14-6 or 12-6, somewhere in there. They also had a game against that involved Indiana Tech, but the final was 26-24. That's right, 26-24 in a college baseball game. 0-2, Taggart swings and misses. Sandifer goes 3 up, 3 down here in the top half of the first. We'll see Oklahoma Wesleyan for the first time at the plate when we come back from this commercial break. No score in our final game of the night. You're from Upland, Indiana. This is the Upland bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA opening round baseball tournament here on the Trojan Sports Network. Founded in 1950, Central Indiana Orthopedics began its tradition of offering compassionate expert treatment for patients with bone, joint, and muscle injuries and conditions. CIO doctors and staff continue that tradition today and provide specialized care in the following areas: ankle, back, elbow, foot, hand, hip, joint replacement and revision, knee, neck, physical medicine and rehabilitation, shoulder, spine, sports medicine, and wrist. CIO has locations in Anderson, Elwood, Fishers, Marion, Muncie, and Portland. The Anderson, Muncie, and Fishers offices also have walk-in clinics for acute injuries less than 2 weeks old, which do not require a referral or appointment. The doctors and specialized staff of CIO proudly serve as the official team doctors for Taylor University, as well as several area high schools and universities. To make an appointment or find out other information about Central Indiana Orthopedics, they can be reached at 800-622-6575 or at ciocenter.com. Leading things off for Oklahoma Wesleyan who come in 51-6. They're wearing the blue uniforms tonight with red numbers trimmed in white pants, and blue socks. The Trojans in their gray uniforms, gray pants, purple numbers, and purple letters after going with the all-whites earlier today. It's Luke Shively on the mound for TU. He'll face the best bat in the order for Oklahoma Wesleyan, Austin Soika, their third baseman. First one on the ground to Josh Lane at short, fields with the shoulders, fires it across a low one that Taggart's able to pick at first. And a great start here for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the first, as both teams, their leadoff man here in the first inning has been retired on a ground out to short on the first pitch of that respective half inning.
Now batting shortstop, Rodolfo Oletta.
So one out for the shortstop, Rodolfo Oletta, who showed off his glove in the top half of the first. And ball one from Shively. Luke, a freshman, 1.76 ERA, a 6-1 overall record in his rookie campaign. Second one to Oletta, and the fastball is low, 2-0. Luke starting his 6th game, appearing in his 15th, 41 innings on the year, 43 strikeouts to 21 walks. The 2-0, nobody on. And that one taken down the middle by Adolfo for a called strike. Oletta batting .309 on the year. This one up the middle. Lane behind second base, fumbling with it, and it just slips out of his hands. Would have been a tough play over there at first. And a man on here, and Oletta, the shortstop, for Oklahoma Wesleyan with one out. Team that's made it to the NAIA College World Series 2 out of the last 3 years. And that'll bring up Nick McGrew, second of 3 here in the order for Oklahoma Wesleyan, that transferred in at the mid-year from St. Gregory's in Oklahoma. They were told in November that the doors were closing at St. Gregory's and it was time for you to find a new place to play ball and attend school. The 3 of them stayed in state. They've been inserted right into the lineup here for Oklahoma Wesleyan and haven't missed a beat. Oletta over at first, Shively missing upstairs to McGrew for ball one. McGrew, 6'1" senior out of San Jose, California. It's he, Soika, who's a junior from Huntington Beach, and Ryan Lujan Leonard, who we'll see following McGrew. He's on deck. A bunt, third base side, expertly placed. Lawson comes in, bare hand attempt, won't be able to get the man out at first. An expertly placed bunt there by Nick McGrew. And back-to-back singles here for the Hawks in the bottom of the first to put 2 men on for the aforementioned Lujan Leonard, the DH.
Now batting the DH, Ryan Lujan Leonard.
So 3 out of the first 4, those transfers from St. Gregory's. Leonard and McGrew will be graduating in May, and Soika Jr. will be back for one more go-around over there in Barrelsville. First one to Lujan Leonard, up high for a ball. He comes in batting .393. With 7 home runs, 8 doubles, and 59 hits. He's driven in 54 runs this year for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Champs of the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. Won both the regular season and the tournament for the 2nd year in a row. That one in the dirt, covered up by Watson. Runners stay where they are. Both teams good at stealing bases. Taylor comes in 130 stolen bases on the year after swiping 2 in the win over Northwestern Iowa earlier today. Oklahoma Wesleyan at 98 for 122. 2 men on, 1 out. To Lujan Leonard, the DH, off the end of the bat to the gap in right center field, and that is going to be trouble. They'll wave the leadoff man and Oletta around McGrew, hot on his heels. A double here for Lujan Leonard, the DH, and with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, Oklahoma Wesleyan has taken a 2-0 lead here over Taylor as the last 3 men have all reached base safely. First extra base hit for Lujan Leonard, and it's quickly 2-0 Oak Woo.
Now batting left fielder John Lantiga.
So the man on second is Lujan Leonard. Batting at the plate now, John Lantigua, a Canadian out of Quebec City, a transfer from Western Oklahoma State. Shively out of the stretch. Fastball, that one fouled out to the parking lot to our right. Not only, as we mentioned, Oklahoma Wesleyan, the best team ERA in the country, also the best batting average at .358. So they are good on both sides of the field. This one ripped into left field, another hit in a row. Wyatt Whitman will come up throwing. He's got a great arm there in left. That'll hold the runner at third. But a single here from Lantigua puts 2 men on here with 1 gone in the bottom of the first inning. And stepping in will be Hunter Henry, the first baseman.
Now batting first baseman Hunter Henry.
Austin Soika has been called the best batter in the order. Led them in hits. He grounded out on the first pitch here of the inning. The next 4 of all reach base safely here for Oklahoma Wesleyan, and they lead 2-0 with 1 out and men at the corners. First time we'll get to see Hunter Henry tonight. 6'4" senior from Kent, Washington, transferred in from Edmonds Community College. Big strong boy there, batting right-handed. And they'll get a pop up to center field. Weiss comes charging in short center field, makes the catch, trying to tag and score. They'll put the brakes on. Advancing to second will be Lantigua. Puts runners at second and third here. They hit the brakes there for Lujan Leonard at third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning for Oklahoma Wesleyan and last year's National Player of the Year, Chris Acosta Tapia.
Now batting center fielder Chris Acosta Tapia.
And yes, that wasn't a misspeak. Last year's National Player of the Year bats out of the 7-hole for Oklahoma Wesleyan because he's having a quote-unquote down year, batting .321. First one inside, taken for a strike. Last year he slugged over .870, had 85 runs batted in, had 20-plus home runs, and batted somewhere in the neighborhood of .370. So when you have those numbers, yeah, .321 would be considered a down year for a man like Acosta Tapia. He's a senior out of Canada as well, out of Quebec, and transferred in from Western Oklahoma State just like Hunter Henry. Excuse me, not Hunter Henry, excuse me. That was John Lantigua, who stands at second. 1-1 to Acosta Tapia. He had the walk-off game-winning home run to win the KCAC Conference Tournament Championship game. 1-1 from Shively. Fastball ripped right towards lane at short. He'll field, throw it from deep in the hole, and there's out number 3. So a lot of hits up on the board, a lot of well-struck balls there for the number 7th ranked team in the country, Oklahoma Wesleyan. They put up 2 runs here in the bottom of the first and lead Taylor 2-0. This is the final game of day 1 of the Uckbland bracket of the 2018 NAIA opening round tournament here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com. It'll be the catcher Tanner Watson to step in here for TU as Taylor trails by 2 top half of the second. A fastball from Sandifer misses upstairs for ball 1. Watson, Weiss, and Atkins, the 3 coming up for Taylor here in the top of the second. As we see Taylor alum Logan Rogers down there with his fiance. Made the drive up for the ball game tonight. 1-1 as Watson fouls off the second one. Tanner 0 for 4, but he was the one that tied the game after a deep fly ball to left field. It was dropped by the Northwestern left fielder. And this one ripped to left just outside of the outstretched glove of Oletta. And a single here for Watson to start things off here in the top half of the second. First hit of the afternoon for TU after being retired in order there in the top of the first. And Kelsheimer will come in to pinch run for Watson over at first.
Now batting center fielder Sam Weiss.
It was Sam Weiss who collected that game-winning hit for TU in the bottom half of the ninth. A little blooper to right center field. That photo of them celebrating around Weiss made its way to social media at the end of that game. He went 2 for 3. 2 for 3, yes, in the first game today. And Sandifer comes inside with a changeup for ball 1. Winner of this game will take on Freed Hardeman tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. The loser will play tomorrow night here at 7:30 against the winner of Northwestern and Cumberland, our first game of the day tomorrow. 1 ball to Weiss. They check on Kelsheimer at first. One of the best runners for the Trojans here this season. A ball to Weiss as he came into the day batting .326. Jared Atkins, last year's Crossroads League Player of the Year, waits on deck. And then Kelsheimer will get caught in a rundown. It's 1 to 3. Now 6 as Kelsheimer goes back to first. Oletta reaches out and tags him for out number 1 as they got Kelsheimer leading over there at first. For the Trojans, the 8th time they've had a man picked off this year. It's 1-3-6 on the pickoff. So the leadoff single for Watson nullified as Kelsheimer picked off. Now he talks things over with Taylor head coach Kyle Gould over there on the third base side. A ball to Weiss with 1 out and nobody on now. Swings and misses at 1 inside, and the count levels at 1-1. The 51 wins for Oklahoma Wesleyan this year, second highest in the tenure of 7th-year head coach Matt Parker. 1-1, and Weiss will miss on a breaking ball from Sandiford. Now he falls behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Parker's told folks this team right now is better than the team last year that made the NAIA World Series. This is the best team in his time at Oak Woo. Sandiford's breaking ball low and away. 2-2. Tyson Cronin, their junior from Lakewood, Ohio, named pitcher of the year in the conference. Weiss, a ground ball left side, knocked down by the third baseman Soika. All the way from the other the foul line, he misthrows it, couldn't able to haul it in was Henry. And now Weiss will set his sights on second. He's in there standing up. And a runner in scoring position here for the Trojans. Here with 1 gone in the top half of the second. It's going to be a tough play for Soika there at third. He caught the ball in his stomach and then threw it from one foul line to the other. And the throw was off target to the right, pulled Henry off the bag. And throwing error E5. And so Weiss will stand at second base as Taylor tries to get on the board here down 2-0.
Right fielder Jared Atkins.
So Atkins batting for the first time here tonight. Oklahoma Wesleyan had a 15-game winning streak on the year, 12 series wins. They only lost 1 series the entire year. They lost 2 out of 3 at York College. The third game of that series was in 9 degrees, which sadly has been a commonplace for a lot of teams this year in what we've called spring. And I know this is radio, but there were air quotes over the spring. A ball to Atkins. Weiss standing at second base. 1 out, top half of the second for Taylor, trailing Oklahoma Wesleyan 2-0. Little breaking ball there, nicely thrown from Sandifer, and the count levels at 1-1. Jared 0 for 3 in game number 1 with a strikeout. Jared came into the day batting .282. Sandifer will throw out of the stretch, looks at Weiss at second, nods, looks back again, and deals home. And Atkins will foul off the third pitch, falling behind 1-2. Big crowd once again here on hand. The Trojans had a healthy crowd of Taylor students, family, and friends here for the game today at 12 against Northwestern. All Taylor students getting in free with their student IDs, so a lot of them experiencing the nice weather out here today and taking a break from studying for finals, which kicked into high gear today. Sandifer gets a new baseball. As Atkins will step in, he's trailing in the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, with Weiss standing at second after the throwing error from Soika at third. Taylor down by 2 here in the top of the second with 1 out. Sandifer deals. Atkins looking him to pop it up to the infield left side. Soika there calling it in from third. Jogs in and makes the catch and checks on Weiss at second base for good measure. 2 outs for Taylor in the top of the second for Andrew Kennedy, the DH.
Now batting the DH, Andrew Kennedy.
Two outs. Weiss standing at second after the throwing error. And Andrew Kennedy, the DH, the sophomore, will bat for the first time tonight. Sandifer, 5'9" junior out of Washington, will deal out of the stretch. Right in the middle of the rubber on the mound in the center of Winter Holder Field. He'll pivot. He'll send Weiss back to the bag. Crowd continues to grow here as the minutes pass by. As Kennedy eagerly awaits the first one here from Sandifer. Here it comes. Kennedy, a ground ball to the right side, right to the second baseman, McGrew. He'll field and fire. And so the throwing error from the third baseman, Soika, no damage done here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. We played an inning and a half, and Taylor trails Oklahoma Wesleyan 2-0. This is the Upland Bracket, here part of the 2018 NAIA opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Second time up here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They'll send up 8-9 and then back to the top of the order with Austin Soika. It'll be Riley Peterson, Colton Kelly, and then Soika. The Hawks lead 2-0 here as they bat in the bottom half of the second. Shively's fastball belt high to the outside half, taken for a called strike by Riley Peterson, the Okwoo catcher. Peterson batting .317 this year, 39 hits, 7 doubles, and a pair of triples. Coming inside is Shively. His breaking ball missing upstairs to make it 1-1. Tucker Waddups, the Trojan sophomore right-hander, normally a starting pitcher. He's down there starting to stretch out in the Taylor bullpen in case he's needed. Third one, missing on the inside half from Shively, and it's now 2-1. 2-0, the Oklahoma Wesleyan lead. They got a leadoff ground out from Soika. Then 4 hits in a row produced 2 runs. There's a hopper to the left side. Lane fields it short. Couple slide steps, a pump, and a throw, and there's one gone. Just like how things started for Oklahoma Wesleyan in the first, and then they kicked the offense into high gear.
Now batting right fielder Colton Kelly.
We talked about all the home runs that Freed Hardeman and Cumberland combined to hit, over 140 combined in our second game today. Oklahoma Wesleyan, no slouch. 71 home runs on the year. They slugged .572 as a team, which is just unbelievably high. Shively trying to keep it away from the right fielder, Colton Kelly. And it's ball 1 for the junior from Moses Lake, Washington. And Shively will find the zone on pitch number 2 to even up the count. 1 out, no one on, bottom half of the second inning. Second game for Taylor here this afternoon, the first one for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Shively's 1-1. This one ripped to Weiss, and center's got to go back. He'll dance back there and make a catch on a back-pedaling jog for out number 2. Kicked up a little dirt as he went through center field. 2 outs here in the home half of the second for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Then back to the top of the order will go here for Austin Soika, the third baseman.
Third baseman, Austin Soika.
Shively trying to get a much-needed 3-up, 3-down inning here in the second. Soika, their leading batter with 84 hits, 19 doubles, and tied for the team lead with 12 home runs. Soika, one of those 3 men that transferred in from St. Gregory's in Oklahoma. 6'1" junior from Huntington Beach, California. A ball in the first one. A ball in the second one as Shively comes high and inside on the chin of Soika. (2-0) for the Oklahoma Wesleyan Eagles. They lead here in the second, 3-0 to Soika. 3-0 from Shively to Soika. That one belt high, taken for a strike. This one popped up to the right side of the park. Adkins will jog in from right. He will get underneath. Then Soika, 0 for 2. The best batter on the Oklahoma Wesleyan order is 0 for 2, and Shively gets a much-needed 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We've played 2 from Winterholder Field. It's 2-0 Oklahoma Wesleyan, the Eagles over the Trojans. This is the Upland Bracket coverage, part of the 2018 NAIA opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Two innings in the books. Brett Lawson will lead it off here for TU. He'll be followed by Tanner Colby. And then back to the top of the order and Wyatt Whitman. 2-0 lead for the Oklahoma Wesleyan Eagles. And now Lawson will sky this one on an 0-1. Right side of the field, screaming everybody off will be Colton Kelly. And there's one gone. Remember, as you mentioned, Taylor took down number 10 Kaiser to start the season back in late January, on January 23rd. But this is easily the best team that the Trojans have faced here all season, no question. Taylor, one of 3 teams from the Crossroads League to make it to the national tournament. Indiana Wesleyan, their closest rival, filling a game, first game of the day down in Georgia. Georgia Gwinnett against Point. And Colby, the only lefty in the Taylor order, will take a pitch inside. And the second one, Colby takes for strike 2. Sander for the number 1 starter for Okwu. And that one away makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just a hit for the Trojans, a single from Tanner Watson. That was back in the second. 4 on the board for Oklahoma Wesleyan. And the 1-2 foul tipped into the glove. And there's strike number 2. Count even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colby with his gray pants pulled up to his knees, showing off the purple and white striped Sky footwear socks. 2-2. And we'll swing and miss inside. Dropped by the catcher Peterson. Bare hands it up. Throws it down to first. That one's going to hit Colby in the back. And Colby will be ruled safe over there at first. Peterson took way too much time to throw it down there to first as Colby took that one right between the shoulder blades. Oku head coach Matt Parker comes out to talk things over. Their home plate umpire David George. And Colby will be ruled safe down there at first as the throw from Peterson ricochets off the back of Colby. Second error in as many innings. Here for Oakwood. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Sandifer, or the evening, I should say. And then back to the top of the order, and Wyatt Whitman has Sandifer out of the stretch. And the righty bounces it in. Ball 1 to Whitman. 2-0 the Oakwood lead. 4 hits all came there in the first as the lights start to flicker to life here over Winterholder Field. Sandifer out of the stretch on the first base side of the rubber. His fastball burns inside for ball 2 to Whitman. Josh Lane, the Taylor shortstop, waits on deck. Wyatt 0 for 4 in the first game today as the Trojans have hit into a rut. They've batted .198 in their last 3 games of the Crossroads League tournament. After the 2 double plays they hit into in the first game against Northwestern today, they've now hit into 10 double plays in the last 4 games. 2-0. Whitman, high hopper left side, will bounce well foul. We talked about the packed house we have down here tonight. Bleachers almost completely full right down here behind home plate. There's a line of Taylor students leaning on the left field fence out to our left. 2-1 the count to Whitman. With Colby at second, the Trojans down 2-0 here in the top half of the third. To the top seed in the bracket, Oklahoma Wesleyan. Sandifer drives it home, and that one will hit Whitman in the backside. So that puts the tying runners on here at first and second, with 1 gone for the shortstop, Josh Lane. A machine-like efficiency there for Sandifer in the first. 3 up, 3 down. His offense gave him 2 runs to work with. But a throwing error there in the second, an error here in the third, and then a hit by pitch. With 1 hit, Lane might be able to bring Taylor right back into this one. They've only gotten 1 hit so far, but a throwing error from Peterson, the catcher, then a hit by pitch have put the tying runners on here for the Trojans. Lane goes after the first one, but the breaking ball he'll swing and miss at. Sandifer, that 2.19 ERA, 9-1 the overall record, 92 strikeouts to just 27 walks. He's one of 3 pitchers on the Oakwood staff with at least 80 Ks. He's one of 2 with at least 90. Second one to Lane. This one ripped into left field. We'll see if they wave Colby around. He'll get the wave around from second. Then they got a hit on the brakes as here comes Acosta Tapia firing a rifle in from center field. But Josh Lane collects his first hit of the night. And now the base is juiced here for Nathan Taggart with 1 out in the top of the third. Taylor down 2-0. And that will bring one of the Oakwood assistant coaches out of the dugout to talk things over with Sandifer on the hill. So a rough start to say the least for the Trojans. Acosta Tapia, though, came up firing willingly from center field. Colby probably didn't get there close enough to third base in time. He had to hit the brakes. And now Tucker Waddups has vacated the bullpen to the left. And now comes in and will get all of the gear from the Hall of Fame first base coach, Rick Atkinson. Former player here at Taylor, also in the Grant County Hall of Fame. And has been here at Taylor for a handful of seasons.
Now batting first baseman Nathan Taggart.
So the base is full for Nathan Taggart, an All-American a year ago, broke the career doubles mark with his double against Northwestern Iowa earlier today. Sits on one, and he'll send that one opposite way on the inside part of the bat. Taggart 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging on 3 pitches against Sandifer to end the top of the first. He comes in here with an out, bases full, Taylor down by 2. Sandifer out of the stretch, takes a peek at Colby at third, drives that's one home. This one off the end of the bat, diving stop there by the second baseman McGrew, and he'll double up Wyatt Whitman there at second base. McGrew, an excellent play there at second base, and the Trojans loaded him up with one. They just hit into their 11th double play here in the last 5 contests. It still remains 2-0 in favor of Oklahoma Wesleyan. We head to the bottom of the third after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
So Taylor loaded them up with one out. They hit into their 10th double play in the last 5 games. Their third one today after hitting into 2 against Northwestern College earlier in the first game of the afternoon. Oletta, McGrew, and Lujan Leonard. This one smoked right back up the middle there by Oletta, his second hit of the afternoon and as many at-bats. He leads off the bottom of the third with a single. It was Oletta, McGrew, and Lujan Leonard that did all the damage for Oklahoma Wesleyan in the bottom of the first when they scored 2 runs. And it was McGrew who turned the 4 unassisted double play to end the Taylor threat there in the third. A soft line out that he dove for just to the right of the second base bag. Then got back to his feet and easily tagged out, or stepped on second base to tag out Whitman, who was going on the hard contact from the Taggart swing. So a single for Oletta, the 5th hit of the evening here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. And Shively's changeup will take it inside from Oletta, or to McGrew, excuse me, for a strike. McGrew singled and scored back in the first. And his breaking ball in the basement, 1-1. McGrew, the best batting average for Oakwu, coming in at .406. 71 hits, 9 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. He's driven in 38 runners. Now 2 arms start to warm up for Taylor in the pen. They get McGrew to pop it up, and this one's sailing to the parking lot to our right. It will land shy of the parking lot in the grass. One ball, 2 strikes to McGrew. A bunt single his first time up, expertly placed up that third base line. Shively out of the stretch. This one sent Weiss's way in center field. He comes charging in. Right center field gap for the catch and out number 1. Jogging back to first base will be Rodolfo Oletta, the shortstop.
Now batting DH Ryan Lujan Leonard.
The 2 men warming up for TU in the pen. Normal starter Tucker Wattups and reliever extraordinaire Rob Fox. A pair of right-handers warming up for TU. We're in the bottom of the third. 1 out for Oakwu. Leadoff man is at first in Rodolfo Oletta. Off speed to the outside corner. Called strike 1 to Ryan Lujan Leonard. The Oakwu DH, his 2 RBI double in the first. has given Oku this 2-0 advantage here as they bat in the third. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Eagles. And Shively will miss low inside, 1-1. Trojans, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They come in as one of the top fielding teams in the country. They also have the 3rd best ERA in the country as well. Oku has the top ERA for a staff. 3rd one from Shively out of the stretch. Opposite batter's box to the righty Lujan Leonard. And it's covered up by Watson to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Winner of this game gets Freed Hardeman tomorrow at 3:30. The loser of this game will be playing at this time tomorrow night, 7:30, against the winner of our first game tomorrow, Northwestern in Cumberland. Shively sets the shoulder, 2-1 home. Lujan Leonard leans out of the way, and it's now 3-1. Lujan Leonard, 5'10 senior from Moore, Oklahoma. He's one of those 3 men that transferred in at the mid-year after St. Gregory's in Oklahoma closed their doors at the end of the first semester back in December. Runner at first, 1 out, safe lead, 3-1, and Lujan Leonard liked it but fouled it off. And now the count full to the DH. They don't list the weights on the roster for Oklahoma Wesleyan, but they've got some big, strong kids on this roster up and down the Okwoo order. Payoff pitch to Lujan Leonard, the DH. This one to the right side. Colby there, slides. He'll get the high throw over to second as he slid away. Now it rolls all the way to the left field area, all the way on the fence, and move the runners to second and third. Colby slid, tried to get the lead runner out at second base. Threw it high over Lane's head, who was covering second. And the first error of the night for TU puts runners in scoring position for the top seed here in the bracket with 1 out. And stepping in will be John Lantigua.
Now batting left fielder John Lantigua.
So Oletta stands at third after the throwing error from Colby. Lujan Leonard at second after the fielder's choice and the aforementioned error from Colby. Still a strong line of folks leaning their arms over the left field fence. And Taylor head coach Kyle Gould will come out to talk things over with the Taylor infield. A rare error here for the Trojans, as we mentioned, one of the top fielding percentages in the country coming in here to the national tournament. First time in Taylor's program history, they're an opening round site. Last time they were in the national tournament back in 2016 down in Savannah, Georgia. Ironically enough, with the Freed Hardeman team, that if they would win this game against Oku, they would play tomorrow at 3:30. And so Luke Shively's evening has come to a close. They will bring in the senior Rob Fox. We'll introduce you to Rob when we come back from this commercial break. Second and third here with 1 out, top half or bottom half of the third inning. Oku with second and third, and they lead 2-0 here over Taylor. This is the Upland Bracket coverage here, part of the 2018 NAIA opening round baseball tournament here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student-athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student-athletes.
The new pitcher in for the Trojans is the senior reliever right-hander Rob Fox. Rob, a 6'1" right-hander out of Muncie, Indiana. Went a third of an inning earlier today. Faced just one batter and got a ground out on 3 pitches thrown in the win over Northwestern College earlier this afternoon. He comes in, 1 out, men at second and third for Oklahoma Wesleyan, and this one is going to be hit high and hard to deep left field, and Wyatt Whitman will watch that one sail over his head as this one lands on the track behind the left field fence for John Lantigua, the left fielder. 3-run blast makes it a 5-0 Oklahoma Wesleyan lead here with 1 gone in the bottom of the third. Second extra base hit tonight, and Lantigua goes deep. Lantigua's 13th home run of the year. That's the best for Oklahoma Wesleyan, breaking the tie with Austin Soika. So 3 on the board here in the bottom of the third. For Oklahoma Wesleyan, their first home run of the night gives them 72 on the season. And that one was a no-doubter for Lantigua. Slider, a swing and a miss from Hunter Henry for strike 1. And now puts Henry down 0-2 as he looks at the second one zip in there. So Shively went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Fox with a hit and a run allowed, 0-2. High hopper left side, deep in the hole at short. His lane fires a bullet. Taggart will have to pick it. He reaches out for it, and it just pulls him off the bag. And safe over at first is Hunter Henry for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Their 7th hit of the night. They lead 5-0. 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting center fielder Chris Acosta-Tapia.
Man on, 1 out for last year's National Player of the Year, Chris Acosta-Tapia. Grounded out to Lane at short to end the bottom of the first. Comes up with 1 out and a man at first here in the bottom of the third. Slider inside from the righty Fox, misses for ball 1. That throwing error from Colby, trying to get Oleta out at second. He overthrew Lane, the shortstop who was covering the bag, and then put men at second and third, and then Lantigua left the park. Pickoff attempt to first. The Trojans picked off a Northwestern runner earlier today. No tag applied here as Henry darts back over to first. Henry 6 for 9 on stolen bases this year. Fox out of the stretch, 1-0. Off the end of the bat, that one will bounce foul. We mentioned the fans lining the left field fence out there in the outfield. They're also lining the chain link fence up on the left side of the park as well. 1-1 to Acosta-Tapia. He and Oakwu wearing their dark blue uniforms tonight. Red numbers, red letters trimmed in white. Acosta-Tapia with the pants pulled up to the knees, showing off his blue stirrup socks with red and white stripes. Fox checks on the runner at first. Taylor going with the gray uniforms here tonight, with gray pants, purple numbers, and purple letters in the gray and purple caps. 1-1 to Acosta-Tapia. Breaking ball low and away. And Acosta-Tapia watches it slide in to make it 2-1. 5-0, the Oklahoma Wesleyan lead as they bat here in the bottom of the third. A 3-run homer for John Lantigua has pushed them up to a 5-0 margin. Back to the breaking ball again goes Fox. He'll paint the outside corner to make it 2-2. Taylor loaded him up with 1 out there in this top half of the third inning, but a diving stop by the second baseman, McGrew. He got the runner out at second as well to turn the 10th double play the Trojans have hit into here in the last 5 games. This one well hit to the right center field gap. Weasel chased after it. Rounding second will be Hunter Henry. Weiss overruns it. Tapia in there at second. They'll wave the runner around from first. And he'll score standing up as Hunter Henry. RBI double for Acosta-Tapia. He takes out a fake cell phone, takes a selfie out there at second base. And it's now 6-0 in favor of Oklahoma Wesleyan. Taylor head coach Kyle Gould looks like he's going to end Rob Fox's night here. Here comes Tucker Wattups out of the Taylor pen. Second time the Trojans have made a call to the bullpen here tonight. Here in this bottom half of the third inning, it's 6-0 Oklahoma Wesleyan. This is the NAIA opening round of the baseball tournament here from Upland, Indiana, here on the Trojan Sports Network. The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Catcher Riley Peterson.
New pitcher in for Taylor, Tucker Wattup, 6'4", sophomore transfer from Anderson University. Spent his freshman year down at AU, about 45 minutes south of here a year ago. Rob Fox came in, gave him the 3-run homer, a single to Henry, a double to Acosta Tapia. Did not record an out here in his 3 batters faced here as they get him out quickly. Looking forward to the rest of the tournament. Runner heads down to third. Good throw from Watson down there in time. Second time today, Tanner Watson's throwing a man out. This time it's last year's National Player of the Year, Chris Acosta Tapia. Out 2 here in the bottom of the third as Watson fires a bullet down to third. Not only is that the second man he's caught stealing today, both have been down at third base. As Acosta Tapia takes his time to get back to the dugout. Took a while to get there, going from third all the way to the first base side. And the second pitch to Riley Peterson, the catcher, is called for a strike. Taylor down 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. 4 runs home. The 3-run homer from Lantigua, then Acosta Tapia had the RBI single before being thrown out over at third. Swing and a miss from the catcher, Riley Peterson. And he falls behind 1 ball, 2 strikes as Wattups tries to limit the damage here to just 4 here in the third. Taylor down 6-0. 1-2 from Wattups. Nice looking pitch at the knees. And he'll miss low, 2-2. Following Peterson will be the right fielder, Colton Kelly. As Wattups comes in, an ERA of 3.57. His third appearance out of the pen this season. Fastball belt high, called for a strike to get Taylor out of the third. With a 3-run bomb from Lantigua and an RBI double from Chris Acosta Tapia has increased the Oklahoma Wesleyan lead to 6-0 here after 3 innings. This is the Upland Bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when a fan orders Pizza Hut for the game, they know exactly what they're getting.
Oh, nice.
Pizza, wings, as well as sides and desserts are all available at pizzahut.com or at their location in Gas City. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Catcher Tanner Watson will lead off the top of the fourth for TU. He'll be followed by Sam Weiss and Jared Atkins, as Watson reties both cleats before stepping into the batter's box. Trojans trailing 6-0 here as they bat at the top of the fourth. They have just 2 hits here on the night, an error. The 6 runs, 8 hits for Oklahoma Wesleyan, and a pair of errors for them as well. Taylor loaded them up with 1 out there in the third, but hit into a double play. They're 10th in the last 5 games. They're 3rd here today in the tournament so far. Sandifer back on the mound. Fastball down low, below Watson's knees for ball 1. Sandifer's thrown now just 37 pitches tonight. Watson has one of the 2 Taylor hits. A single is only time up, and now let's make it 2 for 2 for the senior Tanner Watson, singling this one right back up the middle. Right back through that big gaping hole up in the center of the infield. Time is called. Jonathan Foster will come in. He will pinch run for the catcher Tanner Watson at first, as Taylor looks for their first run here of the night, down 6-0.
Now batting center fielder Sam Weiss.
So the freshman Jonathan Foster, the runner over at first. He scored the tying run for Taylor in the bottom of the 9th earlier today against Northwestern College. Fastball from Sandifer low. Weiss will take for ball 1. Sam 0 for 1 today, reached on the throwing error from Soika at third back in the 2nd inning. Sandifer out of the stretch. The righty deals. Inside corner, Weiss will take for strike 1. Jared Atkins waits on deck for TU. Trojans come in 44-14. Oklahoma Wesleyan 51-6, with 5 of their 6 losses coming against Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference foes. They check on the runner at first and Foster. 1-1 to Weiss. Sandifer delivers. Weiss a ground ball left side. They'll try to turn 2. 6. Nope. The throw from Oletta pulls McGrew off the bag. And again, the infield today for Oklahoma Wesleyan, which came in pretty heralded, has been a little bit sloppy here this afternoon. It won't go down as an error. Or will it? It will go down as an error. Their 3rd one tonight, 2nd one for the left side of the infield.
Now batting right fielder Jared Atkins.
But their prolific offense has been able to nullify these miscues for here in the field, and they lead 6-0. But 1st and 2nd here for the Trojans on the fielding error on the throw from Oletta. So it's Foster at 2nd, Weiss at 1st for the right fielder Jared Atkins. Sandifer, first base side of the rubber. Fastball, then Atkins will sky this one towards the left center field gap. Acosta Tapia comes in, makes the catch, and the runners will retreat back to their bases. First out of the top of the 4th for TU. As Atkins 0 for 2 here tonight against Oak Woo.
Now batting DH Andrew Kennedy.
Andrew Kennedy batting .336 entering today's action. Was 0 for 3 in the first game today, bats out of the 7th spot. A lot of pop for the Trojans up and down the order. Foster lead at 2nd. Weiss mimicking him at 1st. 1 out. First pitch to Kennedy, fouls it off of home plate in the end of the bat. The Trojans wearing, as we mentioned, the purple socks tonight. You can see the little Sky Footwear logo there on the sides, that company created by former Taylor basketball player Keaton Hendricks, who will graduate on Saturday from TU and then continue running Sky Footwear after graduation day. Made a presentation last night at the opening banquet. Every player was given a free pair of socks, and all of the players and coaches filled out cards that will be delivered to the donated socks to the homeless shelter here this month, just like Sky Footwear does every month throughout the year. A strike to Kennedy, 1st and 2nd, 1 out here in the 4th. Missing the outside corner is Sandifer, 1-1. It was either Clay Riggins or somebody else went to Hendricks and said, hey, we need some knee-high baseball socks. Can you get some made for us? And then he comes through with the purple ones with white stripes at the top, close to the knee. A ball and a strike to Kennedy, 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Sandifer a couple looks at Foster at 2nd. And that one will hit Kennedy to load him up as the Trojans have loaded the bases here for the second inning in a row. Both coming with one out. And we'll see what Brett Lawson can do here as Taylor tries to dig out of this 6-0 hole. Second batter that Sandifer has hit here tonight.
Now batting third baseman Brett Lawson.
Taylor's already hitting to one double play here tonight. That was on the bases loaded one out as Taggart lined softly to the diving McGrew at second. He got up and tagged out second base before Whitman could get back in time. One out, top of the fourth. Taylor down by 6. Sandifer out of the stretch. And that one almost hit Lawson in the left hip. It's a fastball and ball 1. Brett flew out to Colton Kelly and right his first time up. Foster the lead man at third, Weiss and Kennedy. And that one low, covered up by Peterson to keep the runners at bay. Taylor scored just 3 runs in their last 3 games of the Crossroads League tournament, batted .198 over those final 28 innings after pouring on 19 runs in the first tournament game. Their offense looked sluggish earlier today. They're trying to get out of that rut here. It's a hard throwing pitcher in Sandifer. That one right at the letters, called for strike 1. The Taylor fans unhappy with that strike 1 call. Bases full for Lawson, a 2-1 count against the righty Sandifer dealing out of the stretch. Gets his right cleat set in the mound, kicks it home, and Lawson down the right field line, but pulls it, or will push it foul, on a late swing. So Brett now count evens 2-2. 1 out, bases full. Foster, Weiss, and Kennedy. Just 2 hits tonight for TU. Watson single to start the inning off. Foster running for him. Weiss reached on a fielder's choice after a missed throw from Oletta at short. 2-2 to Lawson. Sits on this one, in front of it this time. We'll pull it foul to our left. Still 2-2 the count. Great crowd here on hand. Best one we've had all season. As the folks remain stalwart, lining the outfield fence behind left field. Bleachers full down below us. And the bleachers up on either side of the dugouts as well, full as well. They brought in extra bleachers for this opening round tournament here in Upland, Indiana. Taylor University campus, Winterholder Field, the site. And Lawson awaits another 2-2 from Sandifer with the bases juiced. Here it comes. And they get Lawson to pop it up behind home plate. And it'll land out of play to the left here on the sidewalk. We're on the top of the fourth. Lawson with back-to-back foul balls with 2 strikes. Bases full of Trojans. They trail 6-0 here in the top of the fourth. They loaded them up with 1 out an inning ago, hit into a double play. Couldn't do anything with them. Trying to change their fortune here. Sandifer again. This one up the third base side. Fielded. Step on third. They'll try to turn 2, and they will again. It's Soika getting the out at third. He fires it across to first to retire the batter Lawson. Back-to-back innings where the Trojans load them up with 1 out, and they hit into a double play. Here for the second time today, the 4th one in their 2 games this afternoon. And we head to the top half of the 5th with bottom of the 4th, with Oklahoma Wesleyan leading 6-0. Second inning in a row, the Trojans have loaded the bases with one out. Both have ended in double plays. They've now hit into 12 double plays in their last 5 games. They're second of the day right now, and the 4th one overall today when you factor in the 2 that they hit into against Northwestern College in the first game of the afternoon. First full inning of work on the hill for Tucker Wattops. He'll face Colton Kelly, then back to the top of the order in Soika and Oletta. 6-0 the lead for Oklahoma Wesleyan as they bat here in the bottom of the 4th. And Wattops will hit Kelly on the left side of the body with a fastball. First hit batsman for any Taylor pitcher here this afternoon. Leadoff man on here for Oak Woo.
Now batting third baseman Austin Soika.
Just the second time they've put a leadoff man on. They did so an inning ago back in the 3rd. Twelfth batter that Wattops has hit this year, most by any Taylor pitcher. And we'll bring back up the third baseman Austin Soika. He'll pull something out of his back right pocket. Rubs them on his hands, and now he'll step back in. No batting gloves for the third baseman, Soika. And he'll pop up a breaking ball here. Lane calls everybody off. He's got a protective sleeve on that left arm. He makes the catch with the gloved left hand, out number 1 here in the 4th for Oak Woo.
Now batting shortstop Rodolfo Oletta.
Shortstop Rodolfo Oletta. One of only 2 players for Oak Woo tonight who's gone 2 for 2. They've collected 8 hits, 6 runs. 3 have been extra bases. A home run and a pair of run-producing doubles. Wattops checks on the runner at first. Diving back is Colton Kelly. Kelly's second most stolen bases on the year for Oak Woo with 17. He's 17 for 19. Wattops a pickoff attempt again, quickly over. And Kelly dives right back. Oletta at the plate. A pair of singles and runs scored here tonight. McGrew waits on deck, their stellar second baseman. An out here in the bottom of the 4th for Oak Woo. They lead 6-0. And a breaking ball lifted to the right side. Taggart trailing, and that will land just over his shoulder. He was a couple steps away from trying to make a play on it. The strike to Oletta, the shortstop. Two in the bottom of the 1st for Oak Woo, 4 in the bottom of the 3rd. 3 run-producing hits tonight for the Eagles out of the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. 0-1, runner goes. Hit and run was on, fouled off to the right. Catching the screen is Oletta. Kelly, the 17 stolen bases, one of 3 men with double-figure steals on the year. Acosta Tapia with 13 and the man on deck. Nick McGrew leads them with 21 on the season. Oak Woo, an excellent ball club. They've shown it here throughout the evening. Wattops awaits to the 0-2. Delivers to Oletta. Will sit on a breaking ball and drive it to deep left center field. And this one will fall in for extra bases, bouncing off the fence. Hustling around from first will be Colton Kelly. In there at second base with his 3rd hit of the night is Oletta. And scoring and spinning away from our first base umpire is Colton Kelly. Didn't want to truck the first base umpire. That would end your festivities early here tonight. Another RBI hit here for Oak Woo. They increase that lead to 7-0.
Now batting second baseman Nick McGrew.
So Oletta 3 for 3 tonight. He's scored both times he's reached base previously until now. And that'll bring up Nick McGrew, the second baseman, who's 1 for 2 tonight. 7-0 the Oak Woo lead. And Wattops deals to McGrew, a fastball inside half, taken the whole way for called strike. McGrew, the top batting average for Oak Woo at .406. Second on the team with 71 hits entering tonight's play. Oletta, a good lead at second. Bouncing in is the second one from Watson, covered up, or excuse me, from Wattops, covered up by Watson. Keeps it in front to make it 1-1. Ryan Lujan Leonard, the DH, waits on deck for Oklahoma Wesleyan. One run home here in the fourth. They're ahead 7-0. Wattops the righty out of the stretch. Another look at second. Fires the 1-1 home. McGrew will take the breaking ball to make it 1-2. McGrew down in the count to ball and 2 strikes. Oleta dancing at second. The pitch home. And McGrew protects, sending it out of play to the right. Just think what season Oklahoma Wesleyan would have if you didn't have McGrew, Soika, and Lujan Leonard, 1, 3, and 4 in your order, now transferring at the mid-year. They were talented already. I mean, they went to the World Series a year ago, so it's not like they're depleted of talent. But yeah, those 3 guys, and that just completely changes the world for you. 1-2, another protective swing. McGrew fouls it off. And all because the school had to close their doors in December. And a quick turnaround, too. Those guys that we mentioned in the first inning, they were all told in November, hey, we're closing the doors here in a month. You got to find a new place to go play ball and go to school. And lucky enough for those 3 guys we mentioned, McGrew, Lujan Leonard, and Soika, Oklahoma Wesleyan had the capability to bring them in and also bring them together as a package unit instead of having to split up those 3 guys across the country. They try to help Oakwood get back to the College World, the NAIA College World Series for the 3rd time in 4 years. 1-2 again. A good eye from McGrew as he fouled off the last 2. That one bounces in to make it 2-2. Oklahoma Wesleyan only lost 1 game on their home field this year. Went 33-1, 17-5 away from the field in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Liner right to Lawson at third. High throw. That one will overthrow Colby into right field as they try to double up the runner at second. And now Atkins will overrun it in right field. They'll wave the man in from second. That's Oleta. He scores standing up as the Trojans tried to turn 2 on a line out to left field. McGrew able to produce the 8th run of the night here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They're up 8-0 on the 3rd error of the night for the Trojans. Each team with 3 miscues here in the ball game so far.
Now batting the DH, Ryan Lujan.
Second run allowed by Wattops tonight. That goes down as an unearned run. And a strike here to Ryan Lujan Leonard. 2 RBI double in the first, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the third. He was the last man to face Shively. This one through the right side of the infield, and Lujan Leonard collects his second hit of the ball game. 10th one of the night for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They got a man on with 2 outs here in the home half of the fourth, leading by 8.
Now batting left fielder John Lantiga.
So 2 errors on that play for Oleta. The throw from Lawson, and then Atkins overrunning it in right field. Allows Oleta to score from second after a line out from the best batting average in McGrew. That brings up Lantigua, and he'll smoke this one to center field. Weiss has got to go back. He won't be able to get it as it lands on the warning track. Third hit in as many at-bats for Lantigua. Relay throw in from Lane at short. Keep everybody off of home, but another double here for Lantigua. His first of the night, he's 3 for 3, a double, a home run, and now a single as well. And 2 men on with 2 outs here for Oakwoo. 2 runs already home here in the fourth.
Now batting first baseman Hunter Henry.
For those who are scoring at home, if Lantigua were able to get the cycle tonight, he'd be the first triple for him this season. 2 men on, 2 outs for the first baseman, Hunter Henry, who stands almost perfectly straight up and down there in the batter's box. Wattops will step off. Henry, 6'4" senior, out of Kent, Washington. 8-0 the Oakwoo lead. 2 runs home here in the bottom of the fourth. First one from Wattops to Henry. Change up at the belt for a called strike. Henry, the 7th batter of the inning. And he's working on a 1-2 night. Second one from Wattops. This fastball covered up by the catcher, Watson. 1-1. Winner of this game, as we mentioned, gets Freed Hardeman tomorrow. They're the 2 seed here in the bracket. That's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Loser of this game back here tomorrow night, 7:30. Blowing a fastball by and a swing and a miss from Henry makes the count 1-2. Loser of this contest gets Northwestern and Cumberland tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All coverage here on the Trojan Sports Network, all free and in HD. Yippee. 1-2. Off the end of the bat, golfing that one to the parking lot is Henry. And there's the sweet sound of a foul ball smacking against asphalt and not someone's automobile. A bad way to end the school year with finals this week, having a foul ball destroy a window or dent your car. 1-2 to Henry, men at second and third. That one above the letters outside half, and it evens the count at 2 apiece. Two, missing the outside corner is Waddups. Now the count goes full. Henry's been described as the glue of the team, a JUCO transfer. Always positive, very consistent, and a power bat and a Gold Glove Award winner over there at first. He gets ready for the payoff pitch from Waddups with an open base at first. Here it comes. And that one left above the letters, and Waddups has walked the bases full here with 2 outs in the 4th for the ever-dangerous bat of Chris Acosta-Tapia, the center fielder.
Now batting center fielder Chris Acosta-Tapia.
A dangerous predicament here for Waddups. Nobody up in the Taylor pen here in the bottom of the 4th, knowing you've got another game tomorrow. You need to save your arms as much as you can. That's why the Trojans got Fox out of there as quick as possible, allowing those 3 hits and three batters back in the 3rd inning. Waddups' fastball blows it by Acosta-Tapia upstairs for strike 1. Acosta-Tapia, the 8th batter of the inning here for Oakwoo. Kelly led it off with a hit-by pitch. Came around to score on a double from Oletta. After scoring from first, back to the fastball goes Waddups. Taking on the outside half is Acosta-Tapia. He falls behind 0-2. He's got the bases full. First time that Oklahoma Wesleyan has loaded him up here tonight. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. They lead 8-0. Acosta-Tapia 1 for 2 tonight. RBI double back in the 3rd, then got caught trying to steal 3rd. Waddups readies, gets the sign from Watson. He's ahead 0-2 to Acosta-Tapia. The pitch, outside corner. Watson tried to bring it back across, and that draws oohs and ahs from the Taylor faithful down below. Luke Shively, the starter for T, went just 2 1/3, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned. Here's Waddups here in the 4th. The 1-2 to Acosta-Tapia. He'll swing and miss, trying to send that one to the moon. He strikes out with the bases full. 2 more runs up on the board for Oklahoma Wesleyan. We've played 4 innings here from Winter-Holder Field. It's Oakwoo 8, Taylor 0 here in the Upland bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network. Taylor will start off the top half of the fifth with a pinch hitter. 6'3" sophomore, number 33, Brian Fields. And Sandifer, missing inside for ball one. Fields bats in place of Tanner Colby. Comes in batting .267, 4 for 15 this year with 4 runs batted in. And this one off the end of the bat, it goes foul, makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Sandifer, the starter, still on the mound. 1-1 home to Fields. This one ripped up the middle from the sophomore, right up in that big old gap in center, up in the center of the infield. A heaving throw. That thing is just an absolute missile from Acosta Tapia in center. Threw that thing on a very short one hop to first, and Fields with a leadoff single brings up Wyatt Whitman, the left fielder.
Now batting left fielder Wyatt Whitman.
So another good start for the Trojans. Third time they've been able to put the leadoff man on here to start. And Wyatt Whitman in search of his first hit here of the national tournament. 0 for 4 in game number 1, 0 for 1 here tonight with a hit by pitch. Backdoor breaking ball. Sandifer will hit the corner. Called strike 1 to Whitman. 8-0 the Taylor deficit as they bat here in the top of the fifth against the 7th-ranked team in the country, Oklahoma Wesleyan. Second one. That one below the elbows. Ball 1. Best team that Taylor has played all year. Right here on the field they face off against right now. 1-1. Late swing, right side. Big gap, but bouncing through. Covering is McGrew. Whitman trying to leg it out, and he got there in time. Back-to-back singles here for the Trojans to start things off in the fifth. McGrew shading over to second, anticipating a potential double play, but then he covered all kinds of ground to his left. McGrew is one heck of a player over there at second. Fields the bouncing ball and almost got Whitman out at first, but the left fielder able to leg that one out. McGrew is a different type of cat over there at second base, man, I'll tell you what. And again, he wasn't even at Oklahoma Wesleyan when the year started. He was at St. Gregory's. 2 men on here, Fields and Whitman, second and first for the shortstop, Josh Lane. Soika creeping in at third. That one almost hit Lane in the elbow. He scoots out of the way for a ball. If those 3 guys are so good here, how good was St. Gregory's before they had to close up shop? Those guys might be able to give the 27 Yankees a run for their money. If you get that reference, you're probably 45 and older. 1 ball to Josh Lane, trying to get on for the second time tonight. He's 1 for 2. Sandifer taking his time. That one high. Fastball upstairs, 2-1, or 2-0, excuse me. 11 hits for Oklahoma Wesleyan, just 5 for TU. Each team with 3 errors here tonight. Oklahoma Wesleyan has given Taylor plenty of opportunities to get on the board. They just have not been able to find the right hit to do it. 2-0 to Lane. Breaking ball missing again, now 3-0. And Sandifer in trouble. A ball away from loading the bases for the 3rd inning in a row, and Taylor sent into 2 double plays, ending any hope of making this game closer than the 8-0 margin it's right here at. Lane, one of the best bats in the Crossroads League tournament for TU, batting close to 500. Taking the whole way on the 3-0, and a called strike right down Main Street. Lane batting .363. Fields, the pinch hitter, led off with a single. Whitman beat out the throw. He now stands at first. 3-1 home. Lane will golf this one down the left field line. That one almost hit his dad standing down there on the left on the fence down there on the left field side. His father, Chris Lane. Papa Lane's got to get up and get that catch. Come on. Works closely with the folks for the Miami Marlins. We won't tell the Marlins that. That'd be bad. That'd be a bad look for Mr. Lane and the bunch. 3-2 to Chris Lane's son, Josh. Lines it up to the netting. Still remains 3-2. Fields at second, Whitman at first. Top of the fifth for TU, no outs. They trail 8-0, need runs in the worst way possible. Another payoff pitch to Lane. Up high, and the bases have been, no, that will freeze Lane. That one looked to be above the letters. Lane ditched the bat, was ready to jog down to second, but it's a punch out. Third K of the night for Sandifer, and the first out for Taylor here this top half of the fifth. That one very close to the lettering.
Now batting first baseman Nathan Taggart.
You couldn't hear the strike call from home plate umpire David George because the strong Taylor contingent down below us thought it was ball four. Still first and second here for Taggart. Ground ball up the middle, knocked down by the pitcher Sandifer. They'll only be able to get the out he can. That's Taggart at first. 1-3 on the putout as he smacked that one down. Second and third here for Taylor and Tanner Watson, who's had a bead on Sandifer here most of the night.
Now batting the catcher Tanner Watson.
So it's Fields at third, Whitman at second. For Tanner Watson, who has 2 of the 5 hits tonight for TU, he's a perfect 2 for 2. First 2 men have reached base safely. Singles from the pinch hitter Fields and a single from Whitman. But the next 2 men have been retired in order as Sandifer readjusts his white pants, tightening up that belt around his waist. Singles up to left field and up the middle for Watson tonight. Coming back in the second and fourth innings after he was 0 for 4 in Game 1 against Northwestern earlier today. First one here. Ground ball left side right to the shortstop Oletta. Fields whips one over to first, and the Trojans have more runners left on here. They've now stranded 7 men through their first 5 times at the plate. We had at the bottom of the fifth with Oklahoma Wesleyan leading Taylor 8-0. This is the Upland Bracket, a part of the 2018 NAIA National Opening Round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one at the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body.
Bottom of the fifth, Riley Peterson. The catcher will lead it off here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Colton Kelly will follow. Then back to the top of the order in Austin Soika. We get to the defensive changes for TU after the opening pitch. It's a swing and a miss on a fastball by Peterson. So Brian Fields stays in and plays first. They'll move Taggart over to third. Lawson will bump over to second as Fields batted in place of Tanner Colby there to lead things off in the top of the fifth. A strike to Peterson. Now let's make it 2 as he fouls off the second one from Waddups. Special thanks to all you folks tuning in here tonight. Whether you're cheering for Taylor, Oklahoma Wesleyan, or if you're the commissioner of the Crossroads League, Larry DeSimpler, we thank all you folks for tuning in here to our free coverage here of the Upland bracket, part of the opening round of the NAIA baseball tournament, as all roads now lead to Lewiston, Idaho, excuse me. Now 2 balls to Peterson as he leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Peterson, Kelly, and Soika. Oku up 8-0, 11 hits for the Eagles tonight, 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles, and a home run. The 2-2 home. Hard hit left side, backhand stop, unable to be made by Taggart. It bounces into left as Taggart now playing third, replacing Lawson, who shifted over to second. And leadoff man on here for Oklahoma Wesleyan to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Peterson out. That'll be a single. And Chandler Boyd will come in to run number 47 over there at first for Peterson, the catcher. First hit of the night for Peterson. And the 4th one allowed by Waddups. Now batting the right fielder, Colton Kelly. 0 for 1 tonight with a run scored. Squares to bunts. Fastball high, pulls the bat back for a ball. Flew out to Wiesen, center back in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th. Last game of the night here for day 1 of the Upland bracket. 3 more games tomorrow, with 2 teams having their season come to a close. They check on the runner at first. A ball to Kelly here at the plate. Bunting again. This one high in the air. Taggart hustling after it. Diving catch could not be made as it was just off the outstretched glove of the diving third baseman, 14 in gray. A strike to Kelly as he got too far underneath the bunt attempt. Infield playing in double play depth. Lane at short, Lawson at second. They've been playing together since Brett was in the 6th grade and Josh was in the 7th, back down there in Florida. 1-1, bunt again here from Kelly. This time he gets it on the ground, but it'll roll foul third base side. Eight 0 the lead here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Leadoff man is Peterson, singled, and Chandler Boyd running for him over there at first. Kelly looking for that first hit of the night. He's reached once on a hit by pitch, came around to score an inning ago. 4th one comes from Waddups. This one a line drive right to Lawson at second. He knocks it down, picks it back up. They'll get the out at second, and that will be not a double play as they get the out at second. Lawson had it, knocked it down knowing they couldn't turn 2, dropped it intentionally. Picked it back up. They got the force out at second. And so Boyd, the runner, out at second base. Fielder's choice gets Kelly over there at first. So they're going to keep Boyd at first base. So call it a line out to Colton Kelly. I guess they'll say that Lawson had the ball too long in his mitt. Now the umpiring crew will huddle together, led by the head umpire, David George. It looks like that will be the call on the field. Lawson had it, tried to knock it down, but they'll say it was held too long in his mitt. So they registered the line out there, and then they tried to turn 2. He knew the runner, Boyd, didn't even get off the bag in time. So smart play there to try to get it out. At least they get one out of the whole deal. Brings up Austin Soika, index fingers pointing to the sky as he steps into the box for the 4th time tonight. Soika's got something in that back pocket that he rubs on his hands. He almost turns his hands orange. Some dirt or something there. It's filled both of his back pockets. And a strike thrown by Waddups to even up the count at 1-1. So no batting gloves for Soika, but plenty of dirt on there to make those hands almost orange-like at the plate. Index fingers on both hands pointing straight skyward as he awaits the 1-1 from Waddups. Runner goes. Hit and run is on. Changing course is Lawson. Couldn't field it as he had the runner right in front of him. It'll bounce into center field. Move Boyd over to third base. A tough play for Lawson there at second. Men of the corners here for Oklahoma Wesleyan with one out here in the bottom of the fifth, and they lead 8-0.
Now batting shortstop, Rodolfo Oleta.
So there's the fourth error here of the night. Just one between Northwestern and Taylor in the first game of the day. I don't remember if we had any in our second game against Freed Hardeman and Cumberland. Tonight, Taylor and Oklahoma Wesleyan have combined for 7 combined errors here in the ball game. So an out, men at the corners for Rodolfo Oleta, who has feasted on Taylor pitching tonight, going 3 for 3. This one to the right side. Tracking it is Lawson. They'll get the out over at first. It's an RBI ground out for Oleta. His second run batted in tonight will push the Oakwood lead to 9-0 here with 2 gone in the fifth. The runner stands at second.
Now batting second baseman, Nick McGrew.
So 2 outs. The man at second is Austin Soika as he reached on the fielding error from Brett Lawson at second base. McGrew, the best batting average for Oakwood coming into the night, just 1 for 3 so far. One-ups his fastball low and away for a ball to the big righty. Singleton scored on a bunt in the first. Flew out to center, lined out to Lawson at third base that time. That was back in the fourth. We're in the bottom of the fifth. One run across for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead 9-0. Soika stands at second. Lane almost his shadow there at short. Now darts back to his defensive position. Soika increases that lead. 1-0 changeup inside half makes it 1-1. .12 hits on the evening for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They came in with the best ERA in the country. The Trojans came in with the third best. 1-1 bounces in, covered up by Waddups. 2-1. Still a good crowd here on hand despite the score. Taylor has had their opportunities, as we mentioned, with the 3 errors from Oklahoma Wesleyan. They just have hit into double plays again. They're 12th in the last 5 games. 2 here tonight so far. 2-1. McGrew in front of that one, chopping at fouls. That one bounces over the Taylor dugout to the left. Taylor in their traditional dugout for normal home games here at Winter Holder Field. This will actually be the first night game they've played here all season. Took some extra practice trying to work on fly balls to center field in practice on Friday and Saturday night. Pivoting off the mound is Waddups. Runs that right hand through the rosin bag behind the mound. Soika, the man at second. An RBI single from Rodolfo Oleta has increased the Oakwood lead to 9-0. Waddups out of the stretch. No one holding Oleta as he dances off of second. Now halfway through, he heads down to third. Check swing on McGrew, and that's a called strike 3. McGrew down on strikes for the first time today. That's the second K for Tucker Waddups. 1 run home here for Oakwood. They increase the lead to 9-0 after 5 innings of play. This is the Upland Bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA Baseball Opening Round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Top of the sixth. Coming inside, Sandifer with a fastball. Weiss will step out as he leads it off for TU. Weiss, Atkins, Kennedy, the ones coming up for the Trojans as they trail 9-0 to the top seed in the Upland bracket, the 7th-ranked team in the country, Oklahoma Wesleyan, who's made it to 2 out of the last 3 NAIA World Series. 2-0 the count to Weiss. Had the game-winning hit for Taylor in the bottom of the 9th to knock off Northwestern earlier today. 2-0 from Sandifer. And that fastball into the knees down the middle for a called strike 1. Sam 0 for 2 tonight, reached on a fielding error in the second. Or throwing error, excuse me, in the second, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Even though he's 0 for 2, has reached base safely twice. And the fourth one low to make it 3 balls and a strike. Taylor down 9-0, just 5 hits on the evening. And that one almost hit Weiss on the arm, and a late strike call. As that one just found its way to the strike zone. So now the count full to Weiss. Second time the Trojan fans have let our home plate umpire know that they've disagreed with one of his calls here at the plate. Payoff pitch, Weiss will send it to right field. Trying to track it is Colton Kelly. He's got a bead on it, reaches up and makes the catch in front of the warning track. And there's one gone for Taylor here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting right fielder Jared Atkins.
One out for Taylor and last year's Crossroads League Player of the Year and All-American Jared Atkins. Atkins 0 for 2, pops out and flown out tonight so far. One out for Taylor here, nobody on in the 7th, or in the 6th, excuse me. And Sandifer dealing here, strike at the knees. Sandifer 4 complete games on the year. Leads Oku in that category and their stellar pitching staff. There's a nasty backdoor breaking ball that comes back in across the inside half and puts Atkins down 0-2. Sandifer's had a couple blips here in the last handful of innings. He's back in a groove here just like he was in the first. The 0-2 to Atkins. Chops it foul, just getting a piece off the end of the bat. Just 5 hits on the evening for TU, none for extra bases. They had a pair of extra base hits in the win over Northwestern earlier today. 0-2 to Atkins. Lines it to left field. There's the senior's first hit of the night. 6th one for TU. We'll see what they can do here, trying to cut into this 9-0 deficit here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting the DH, Andrew Kennedy.
So Kennedy will step in for TU. The DH tonight, batting out of his number 7 spot, also been a traditional DH for most of the season for the Trojans. Atkins a safe lead at first. The pitch home. Inside of the hands for a ball. Taylor, no stolen bases here so far tonight against Oklahoma Wesleyan. 2 in our game earlier today to increase their program record single season total to 130. Back to the slider goes Sandifer. And it's a ball and a strike now to Kennedy, the DH. Quickly dealing to Sandiford. He goes back to that breaking ball once again, and now it's 1-2. Back to the breaking balls. Coming on the inside half. Worked well against Atkins before he ripped one through the left side. A 1-2 to Kennedy. Backdoor breaking ball again, line down the left field line, and this one will be extra bases as it careens off the left field fence. Atkins comes scooting into third, sliding in. Kennedy in there in second, sliding in feet first. First extra base hit of the night for Taylor as Kennedy lines up Sandifer and hits that one 3/4 of the way on a line drive off the top of the left field fence. Second and third for the Trojans with one out as they need a run in the worst way possible here in the top of the sixth.
Now batting second baseman Brett Lawson.
Andrew is 0 for 3 against Northwestern today. But now a double from Kennedy. Atkins standing at third, back-to-back hits for the Trojans as they trail 9-0 here in the top of the sixth. One out, Brett Lawson stepping in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. As Sandifer drives home those right cleats. Curveball to the inside corner for strike one to Lawson. Brett 0 for 2. He hit into a double play to end the Taylor fourth, back when the bases were loaded. 0-1 from Sandifer. Lawson right side. McGrew knocks it down. They will score one run as Atkins comes in to take the 0 off the board for TU. RBI single for Lawson. But a good knockdown there by McGrew at second. That one kept 2 runs off the board. His diving knockdown at second. RBI ground out for Lawson makes it 9-1 Oklahoma Wesleyan here in the sixth, with Kennedy standing at third and his roommate Brian Fields about to bat for the second time tonight. And Fields will take the first pitch for a called strike. Brian blasted a single up the middle his first time up. As he bats into the 9th spot here for Tanner Colby, the second baseman. Second one outside the zone, evens it up at 1-1. Andrew Kennedy there at third. Back to the backdoor breaking ball goes Sandifer. And it puts him ahead 1-2 here with 2 outs. Top of the sixth, 1-run home for Taylor. They trail by 8, 9-1. And the 1-2 home. Low and away, smothered up by Peterson as he falls forward. And the count levels at 2-2. Fields 1 for 1 tonight, batting for the second time. 6'3" sophomore. And the 2-2. Swings and misses, spins him around for strike 3. The Trojans will leave Kennedy stranded at third. An RBI ground out for Lawson has gotten Taylor on the board. We're through 5.5. It's Oklahoma Wesleyan 9, Taylor 1. Here in the Upland Bracket 2018 NAIA opening round baseball tournament here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when a fan orders Pizza Hut for the game, they know exactly what they're getting.
Oh, nice.
Pizza, wings, as well as sides and desserts are all available at pizzahut.com or at their location in Gas City. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Tucker Wadhams back on the mound for TU, starting his third full inning of work. Taylor got a run on the board, RBI ground out there from Brett Lawson. 4, 5, 6 coming up here for Oakwoo as they lead 9-1. It'll be Ryan Lujan Leonard, John Lantigua, and Hunter Henry. The three up for the Eagles of Oklahoma Wesleyan. First one to Lujan Leonard. Fastball inside for a ball. Lujan Leonard has reached base safely all 3 times. He's been to the plate here tonight so far. And the changeup missing low, now 2-0. 2 RBI double in the first, fielder's choice and scored in the third, singled in the fourth. The 3 times up for Lujan Leonard tonight. Batting .393 coming into tonight's action. Has 2 for 3 nights so far. That'll help out the average in a big way. Just 2 bats over 400 on the season for Oakwoo, but they've got a whole mess of guys batting in the 3s and the high 3s. Lujan Leonard, one of those guys, as we mentioned, just shy of 400. And he takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. He leads off the bottom of the 6th. Oklahoma Wesleyan out front 9-1 on the back of 12 hits out, hitting Taylor tonight 12-7. 2-1 pitch home, outside corner. Watson couldn't bring it back across, and it puts Lujan Leonard ahead 3-1. Winner of this game gets Freed Hardeman tomorrow 3:30. Loser plays tomorrow night at 7:30 against the winner of Northwestern and Cumberland, our first game tomorrow. And Wadhams will miss low, below the knees with a fastball. Second walk allowed, and Lujan Leonard starts off the 6th of the walk.
Now batting left fielder John Lantigua.
Fourth inning in a row for Oklahoma Wesleyan that they've gotten the leadoff man on. After a pair of ground outs to Lawson, the first and second for the leadoff man in those innings. Off speed to Lantigua, called for a strike. As Lantigua 3 for 3 on the evening, a triple away from the cycle. Holds that bat high over his head. This one off the end of the bat, launching it foul to the right. And it sounds like that one hit someone's automobile. The folks down there cheering yes, obviously not their automobile. Austin Ely and Isaac Schuler start to play catch behind the Oakwoo dugout. Might be seeing one of those men coming in to the field in the 7th for Oakwoo. 0-2 to Lantigua, up high for ball 1. Lantigua, 6-foot junior out of Canada. Transferred in from Western Oklahoma State. A pitcher warming up. We're going through the stretches now for Taylor in the bullpen to our left. 1-2 to Wadhams. Runner stays, it goes. Ground ball just past the diving lane at short, bouncing into left, hustling over to third. A bullet throw from Whitman goes through the glove of Lane. They'll hold the runner at first. So men at the corners here. Lujan Leonard running on contact. Smart base runner as he saw where the ball was when he got to second. So first and third here for the first baseman, Hunter Henry, with no one out here in the 6th for Oklahoma Wesleyan, leading by 8.
Now batting first baseman Hunter Henry.
And Lantigua now 4 for 4 tonight. 13th of the night for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead 9-1 here over Taylor. 3 errors for Oakwoo, 3 or 4 for TU. And it's Drake Gongwer warming up for Taylor in the bullpen, freshman right-hander. First one lifted foul to the right. That one hits a tree and remains safely away from anybody's cars. Henry 1 for 2 tonight. As Taylor catcher Tanner Watson comes out from behind the plate, sends in a defensive signal to the infield. First and third, first two men have reached base safely here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. And they lead by 8 here in the bottom of the 6th. Lujan Leonard at third, Lantigua the single, put him at first. After a foul ball in the first one, Henry will casually lean out of the way on a fastball inside for ball one. Henry singled and scored in the third, and he walked in the fourth. Waddup's on the third base side of the rubber. Out of the stretch, pulls the string on a breaking ball. And the count 1-2 to Hunter Henry as he missed one inside. And someone pulling him on the sidewalk with a golf cart with headlights. That is fancy. Nobody out, first and third. Henry down in the count, 1-2. Hoists that bat high up behind his head. The pitch from Waddup's. Fastball way up high, evens it up 2-2. A walk to Lujan Leonard. A single to Lantigua moved Lujan Leonard over to third base. Last game of the night, day one of the Upland bracket here, the 2018 NAIA baseball opening round, part of the national tournament. Winner of this bracket, one of the 10 teams that'll be in Lewiston, Idaho. For the World Series, this one launched but pulled foul. Remains 2-2 to Hunter Henry. One of four men as Henry, with double-figure home runs on the year for Oklahoma Wesleyan. He's got 11. Been described as the glue guy for the Oakwoo Ball Club this season. 2-2 from Waddup's comes home. And the fastball low and inside for ball three. First and third here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. First two men have reached base safely. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. They lead 9-1. Waddup sets. Taking his time. Waiting. Payoff pitch comes home. Outside for ball four. Hunter Henry didn't realize that was ball three. Was ready for another pitch. It'll jog down to first. Bases full for Oklahoma Wesleyan here in the bottom of the sixth. And last year's National Player of the Year, Chris Acosta-Tapia.
Batting center fielder Chris Acosta-Tapia.
Third walk allowed by Waddups tonight, as Gongwer continues to get warmed up for Taylor in the pen. Acosta-Tapia 1 for 3 with a double tonight. He's got the bases full here and nobody out here in the home half of the sixth. Fastball at the knees, called for strike one. A ground out and a strikeout tonight for Acosta-Tapia. Facing Waddups for the second time. And he'll lift this one foul. Struck out swinging against Waddups back in the fourth. We're currently in the bottom of the sixth. Nobody out. Bases full for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead 9-1 as the first three men have all reached base safely. The 0-2 from Waddups. Fastball up high, 1-2. Acosta-Tapia batting .321 this year. 10 doubles, 2 triples, and 10 home runs. And Waddups will miss again with a fastball to even it up at 2-2. Lujan Leonard, Lantigua, and Henry, third to first. Out there for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead by 8, nobody out, bottom of the sixth. Waddups out of the full windup, 2-2 to Acosta-Tapia. Change up left upstairs, now the count is full. So Gongwer warming up. Trevor Booth is now standing on the mound down there as well for TU. It looks like Gongwer is ready to go after this 3-2 if he's needed. Pitch inside, Acosta-Tapia to third. Taggart fields. They get the out at second, over to first. Won't be in time. So one out up on the board, 1 run home here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They increase their lead back to 9 at 10-1. And time will be called by head coach Kyle Gould. And they'll bring in the freshman right-hander Drake Gongwer. They'll come in with first and third, 1 out and 1 run home here in the sixth for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead 10-1. This is The Upland Bracket, a part of the 2018 NAIA opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Pinch hitting for Oklahoma Wesleyan, number 23, Isaac Schuler.
Isaac Schuler will pinch hit here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. With a new pitcher on the mound for the Trojans, it's number 10, freshman right-hander, 6'3", Drake Gongwer, out of Wakarusa, Indiana, and Northwood High School. Drake appearing in his 13th game, 10th out of the bullpen. And he's going to hit the first batter here. So Schuler comes in pinch hitting, and now the base is full once again for Oklahoma Wesleyan. 1 out, 1 home here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 10-1.
Now batting right fielder Colton Kelly.
So Wadhams goes 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Make it 3 runs, all earned. Walked 3, hit 1, struck out 2 in his outing tonight. Longest tenured man on the mound tonight for TU. And Gongwer fires in a fastball to Colton Kelly, the right fielder. Drake a 3.18 ERA, a 1-0 overall record, picking up the win for Taylor in the win over Mount Vernon Nazarene in the first game of the league tournament back last Friday. Or 2 Fridays ago, excuse me. 0-1 home with the bases full. Watson covers it up. Everybody stays. .28 strikeouts to 15 walks for Drake this season. As Kelly 0 for 2 tonight. Bases full here. Gongwer steps off the mound. It's Lantigua at third. Acosta Tapie at second, and Schuler the man at first. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out. 1-1 the counts to the right fielder Colton Kelly. His team Oklahoma Wesleyan out front 10-1. They scored 2 in the bottom of the first and haven't looked back since. And Gongwer's fastball away makes it 2-1. Winner of this contest gets Freed Hardeman tomorrow at 3:30. They're the 2 seed in this bracket. They beat Cumberland 13-8. And Gongwer low, now 3-1. Nowhere to put Kelly. He's ahead 3-1 in the counts. Oklahoma Wesleyan back in front by 9, 10-1 after Taylor got a run in the top of the 6th. 3-1 home. Belt high. Called for a strike on a fastball. Makes the count full. So Kelly steps in and waits a payoff pitch with the bases full. One out in the home half of the 6th. One run already in here for Oklahoma Wesleyan, trying to turn the lineup over. Hits it hard left side. Taggart will field. Out at second, over to first. Not in time, so the runner out at second, still first and third, but another run comes across the plate here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They push their lead up to 10 at 11-1.
Now batting third baseman Austin Soika.
So score Antigua from third. An RBI for Kelly is first of the night. And move Acosta Tapia over to third base. They turn the lineup over to the third baseman, Austin Soika. Best bat in the order has been held quiet tonight for Oakwu. He's 0 for 4, reaching on an error his last time up. And Gongwer's first one is low. Ball 1. Soika, the 7th batter of the inning, here for Oklahoma Wesleyan as they try to move to 52-6 here on the year and make it back to the World Series for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Gongwer finds his own here, makes it 1-1. First and third for Soika, the third baseman. 1-1 from Gongwer. He's underneath that one. It's sent foul to the parking lot. 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 6th for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They lead by 10, 11-1. Gongwer, the freshman righty out of the stretch, deals. And the 1-2 left upstairs to level the count at 2 apiece. Two home. And Soika will foul it away. (11-1), the Oklahoma Wesleyan lead here in the bottom of the 6th. As the sun is set back to our left, the floodlights overhead taking hold. Soika ready for another 2-2. Bouncer up the middle. Lawson fields. He'll go past him as a diving attempt. Runner in from third. That's Acosta Tapia. Throw cut off by the shortstop lane. Runners at first and third. It's 12-1. Oklahoma Wesleyan here on the RBI single from Soika, his first hit of the night.
Now batting shortstop Rodolfo Oletta.
So first and third for the shortstop Rodolfo Oletta, who's been great tonight at the plate for Oakwu, going 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in. A ball to the shortstop Oletta. An RBI ground out his last time up in the 5th. First and third here, 2 outs. This one off the end of the bat, a single into right field. Will bring home the 13th run of the night for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They've scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th, tying their outburst for the 4 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And they're up by a game-high 12 runs here over TU.
Now batting second baseman Nick McGrew.
So the second baseman, Nick McGrew, will be the 9th batter of the inning here for Oklahoma Wesleyan as they lead 13-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. First and second, Soika at second, Oletta at first after the RBI single. And Gongwer will miss the outside corner, a ball to the righty McGrew. Good experience here for the freshman right-hander Gongwer. Best bats he'll face here all season in his rookie campaign. Sends a fastball by the swinging McGrew to even it up at 1-1. Ryan Lujan Leonard waits on deck. He led this inning off with a walk and came around to score. 1-1 home. And the splitter misses high from Gongwer, 2-1. First and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Oklahoma Wesleyan, the home team here on the scoreboard. 2 in the first, 4 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 4 here in the 6th. They lead 13-1 over Taylor. The 2-1 home. And McGrew takes it low, 2-2. McGrew with something sticking out of his back right pocket, awaits the pitch here from Gongwer. And that one off the light pole, comes back into the field of play, and first base coach for Oak Woo might have looked right into those floodlights and then shielded himself for protection for a ball that landed 15 feet away from him. But it's always good to be safe than sorry. Remember that, kids. He looks back at the dugout and says, I didn't see it. Yeah, he looked up into about 10 high-powered floodlights that are helping field a fifth of the field. You wouldn't be able to see anything for a day if you looked up into those things. Full count, 3-2 to McGrew with first and second on. 2 outs. And that'll be another walk to load him up. Bases full once again here in the inning. And Oklahoma Wesleyan will bat around here in the bottom of the 6th, bringing back up Ryan Lujan Leonard for the second time here in the 6th inning.
Now batting the DH, Ryan Lujan Leonard.
The only 2 outs recorded in this inning for Taylor have been on fielder's choices. And a fastball down the middle, knee high, strike 1 to Lujan Leonard. And no extra base hits here in the 6th inning either. It's been all singles. 1, 2, 3. 3 singles, 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and then the other 2 fielders' choices. Definitely death by 1,000 cuts here for the mashing and powerful lineup for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Second one misses to Lujan Leonard, makes it 1-1. They had a 3-run homer in the third, a 2 RBI double in the first, an RBI double in the fourth. Ever since then, an RBI ground out in the 5th as well. It's been death by 1,000 cuts like we mentioned. This one off the end of the bat towards Atkins and right should end it. Here in the 6th, and it does. 10 batters come to the plate here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They put up 4 runs on the board and increase their lead to 13-1 over Taylor after 6 innings of play here from Winter Holder Field. This is the Upland Bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA Baseball Opening Round here on the Trojan Sports Network. Top of the 7th, Wyatt Whitman will lead it off, and he's down 0-2, swinging and missing. And a breaking ball from Ryan Sandifer, the starter still on the mound here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Next pitch will be his 90th here of the night. Whitman 1 for 2 tonight with a hit by pitch and a single. Sits back on the third one for the first ball of the at-bat. The way things are going, barring a miraculous comeback with Taylor down by 12 here in the 7th, Oklahoma Wesleyan will play Freed Hardeman tomorrow at 3:30. And then Taylor will play here tomorrow night, 7:30 against the winner of Cumberland and Northwestern. As Whitman will send this one foul to the right side. Then two players go sprinting out of the dugout. Oh, that is a risky play. What are you doing, boys? Oklahoma Wesleyan almost had 2 other players take each other out there in the grass as they go sprinting after that foul ball. I think one of them was their 6'5" relief pitcher, Lisandro Cruz, who throws in the mid-90s. You want to keep that guy as healthy as possible. If I were them, I'd have men carrying him around on a bed like he was Cleopatra in Egypt. 1-2 to Whitman. He'll send this one to deep center field. Great jump by Acosta Tapia. And last year's National Player of the Year retires Whitman for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Now batting shortstop Josh Lane.
So an out for Josh Lane, the shortstop for TU here in the top of the 7th. His team down 13-1. Facing no doubt the best team they've faced here all season. Lane a single. Going 1 for 3 tonight off the end of the bat. Right over to McGrew at second. To first, and there are 2 outs for TU here in the 7th inning.
Now batting third baseman Nathan Taggart.
So Taylor had their batting woes against Northwestern College earlier today. They've run into a buzzsaw in the name of Ryan Sandifer, wearing number 11 in blue tonight. But it's not without saying that Sandifer's had 2 hit by pitches tonight, 3 errors in the field for Oklahoma Wesleyan as Taggart bats with no one on and 2 out. Fastball low for a ball. Taylor had opportunities a couple times. They've loaded the bases up tonight, hitting to 2 double plays, which has really been their bugaboo, hitting to 12 double plays in their last 5 games. Second one, backdoor breaking ball inside half, makes it 1-1. And if Sandifer's hitting with that like he has here the last 3 innings, good luck trying to lock in on 11 in blue. The 1-1 home. Taggart, hard hit left side to the third baseman, Soika. Across the diamond, a bullet. Fielded cleanly by Hunter Henry. A 1-2-3 top of the 7th for TU. We will stretch things out as we head to the home half of the 7th. Oklahoma Wesleyan out front, 13-1 here over Taylor. This is the Upland Bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA Baseball opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network. Founded in 1950, Central Indiana Orthopedics began its tradition of offering compassionate expert treatment for patients with bone, joint, and muscle injuries and conditions. CIO doctors and staff continue that tradition today and provide specialized care in the following areas: ankle, back, elbow, foot, hand, hip, joint replacement and revision, knee, neck, physical medicine and rehabilitation, shoulder, spine, sports medicine, and wrist. CIO has locations in Anderson, Elwood, Fishers, Marion, Muncie, and Portland. The Anderson, Muncie, and Fishers offices also have walk-in clinics for acute injuries less than 2 weeks old, which do not require a referral or appointment. The doctors and specialized staff of CIO proudly serve as the official team doctors for Taylor University, as well as several area high schools and universities. To make an appointment or find out other information about Central Indiana Orthopedics, they can be reached at 800-622-6575 or at ciocenter.com. So we thank our research department, the I-team, looking up St. Gregory's, as we talked about all night, a former 4-year NAIA institution that closed their doors. that brought 3 of the 9 starters tonight for Oklahoma Wesleyan over at the mid-year point just after Christmas. John Lantigua leads it off. He'll face Drake Gongwer as Drake starts his first full inning of work out of the pen here at the national tournament as a freshman. Fastball up high makes it 2-0. A couple defensive switches for TU. Jared Atkins moves to left field from right. Tanner Watson moves from behind the plate into right field where he won a gold glove a couple of seasons ago. And Austin Medica comes in to catch here for TU. So the batting order, that means Medica will bat in place of Wyatt Whitman, and that foul ball sounds like it has landed against someone's side panel. 2 balls and a strike to Lantigua. He's 4 for 4 tonight, a triple away from the cycle. With a pair of singles, 2 runs scored, and a 3-run homer. Now he's gone ahead 3-1 as Gongwer misses low. Just 3 hits there in the 6th as Oklahoma Wesleyan put up 4 runs on the board, batted around, brought 10 men to the plate. A whole slew of walks there from Trojan pitching. 3-1 from Gongwer. And a walk. Nope. That's the second or third time we've seen that delayed strike 2 call on either be strike 2 or ball 4. And it's fooled every batter here at the plate tonight. Count full to the left fielder, John Lantigua. 4 for 4 nights so far, 3 runs batted in. Payoff pitch, he'll chop it foul to our left. So we operate here in the bottom of the 7th. All Oakwoo in this one. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 1st, 4 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th, and they lead 13-1. 3-2. That one opposite batter's box, deflects off of the backstop. Second walk allowed by Drake Gongwer. And time will be called. Pinch running at first will be Austin Ely for John Lantigua.
Now batting first baseman Hunter Henry.
And that brings up the first baseman Hunter Henry. The 3rd walk allowed by Gongwer tonight. And he'll find the strike zone on the first one thrown to Hunter Henry. Henry has walked twice, singled once, flew out to center once as well. And now he falls behind 0-2. Back-to-back strikes thrown from the freshman Gongwer. The sun is set to our left. The floodlights have taken complete hold overhead here at Winter Holder Field. The 0-2. Leaning out of the way for effect is Henry. 1-2. 13-1 the lead here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They've collected 15 hits, committed 3 errors. The Trojans 1 run, 7 hits, and 4 miscues. Henry holds that bat high above his head. 1-2 as Gongwer slips on the mound. And the pitch misses to make it 2-2. Leadoff walk, put Lantigua at first. Ely runs for him right now. Fields remains at first. Lawson at second, Lane at short. Taggart over there at 3rd. 2-2 home. Hard hit left side. Lane pounces on it right into the stomach. Fields it. They get the out at second over to first. And that will be a 6-4-3 double play. The Trojans turn their first double play of the night. 2 outs on the board for Chris Acosta-Tapia, the center fielder.
Center fielder Chris Acosta-Tapia.
And so Acosta-Tapia steps in after an RBI fielder's choice, reaching in the 6th. Also has an RBI double tonight as well. And Gongwer fires in the first pitch strike. Right-hander Justin Pettit starting to warm up for Taylor in the pen. And Acosta-Tapia well in front of an off-speed pitch from Gongwer puts him down 0-2. 6-4-3 double play, put 2 outs on the board here in the bottom of the 7th. It's all Oakwoo. They're up 13-1. Final game of day 1 here of the Upland bracket. First game of the day for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Second one for Taylor as they won 2-1 over Northwestern in the first game of the day. Score plating 2 in the bottom of the ninth to win 2-1. A ball and 2 strikes to the center fielder Acosta Tapia, last year's National Player of the Year. And Gongwer fires one away. Out of the glove of Medica, evens up 2-2. Nobody on, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the seventh, 2-2 pitch, and Acosta Tapia tries to hit it to the moon, and he misses. And thinks better of trying to break his metal bat over his back shoulders, because that would really hurt. We played 7 innings here from Winter Holder Field. It's 13-1 in favor of Oklahoma Wesleyan here in the Upland bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA baseball opening round here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
The right fielder Tanner Watson will lead it off for Taylor. He won a Gold Glove back in 2016 in that spot. Back as a sophomore when the Trojans had the Player of the Year, Lincoln Reed, behind the plate. He'll take a strike here that he disagrees with. Second one, bouncing in to make it 1-1. Tanner 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of singles, as Justin Pettit warms up for Taylor in the bullpen to our left. And now time will be called. Home plate umpire David George comes out from behind the plate. Sandifer trying to set some dirt on the home plate, or on the mound, excuse me, and now he'll deal the 1-1 home. And then Watson will hit this one deep into the night sky. Going back after it is the left fielder Lantigua. He's got to make a tough play. Now he's going to drop and fall face first on the warning track. Watson around second. Lantigua had it. The ball went sailing back over his body as he tried to make a reaching gloved catch. It ticked off the end of his mitt and fell down to the warning track, and Watson's safe at second. Kelsheimer will come in to run for him, and the leadoff man reaches base safely here for the Trojans to start things off here in the seventh. So Kelsheimer running at second base. Weiss will bat here. And it'll go up as the fourth error of the night. An E7 for Lantigua on the missed catch. She should have had that one cleanly on the track and then was able to haul it in. And now time is called. Peterson out from behind the plate to talk things over with Sandifer, who's been spectacular tonight. 7 innings tossed so far. 1 run, 7 hits. No walks, hit 2, struck out 4 for Sandifer. So that's now 8 combined errors tonight between Taylor and Oklahoma Wesleyan. More than we've had in the first two games of the tournament combined here so far today. Breaking ball to Weiss, called for a strike. This will be the 100th pitch for Sandifer. Covered up by Peterson for ball 1. It's Kelsheimer running for Watson down there at second. Weiss 0 for 3 tonight, reaching base safely twice on an error and a fielder's choice. Sandifer leans into the waist as action picks up in the Oklahoma Wesleyan bullpen. The 1-1 home. Weiss off the end of the bat, and that one will go to the parking lot. A couple of guys getting loose for Oakwood. Jacob Williams and Jordan Hill. Runner at second, nobody out. Top of the 7th, Taylor down by 12. Weiss, a late swing on a breaking ball to the parking lot. Count remains 1-2. And the ball will bounce off of someone's car. So this game has got more errors than the first 2 games combined and more cars hit by foul balls than the first 2 games combined. Word of the wise, don't park here close to the field tomorrow. Walk, it's a nice day. Ground ball up the middle. Right to the shortstop, Oletta. Fields it just in front of second base. Whips one over to first, just like he always does. An excellent shortstop there for Oakwood. Moves the runner and Kelsheimer over to third. One gone for Taylor here in the 7th, and Jared Atkins, the left fielder. Makes Weiss 0 for 4 tonight, as Taylor looks for their second run here of the ball game. Atkins 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. An inning ago in the 6th. Sandifer out of the stretch. An off-speed pitch is low. Freed Hardeman awaits the winner tomorrow at 3:30. The winner of that game will have the inside track to make it to the NAIA World Series. Backdoor breaking ball misses inside, 2-0. Atkins, the starting right fielder, then moved over to left a half inning ago. A pop out, a fly out, and a single is 3 times at the plate tonight so far. And this time the backdoor breaking ball works from Sandifer, a strike 1 inside half. Kelsheimer running for Watson. He stands at third base. As Pettit warms up there in the bullpen for TU. 2-1 to Atkins here at the plate. This time the curveball misses, and it's now 3-1. The 3-1 to Atkins. Runner at first, 1 out. And Atkins will slice at this one and foul it to the backstop. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. With a runner at third after a leadoff error put Watson at second base. Kelsheimer took his spot. He now stands at third. Payoff pitch to Atkins. Hard hit left side underneath the diving Soika at third. Kelsheimer scores standing up from third base. RBI single for the senior Jared Atkins, and Taylor gets their second run of the night, now down 13-2. A man on, 1 out for Andrew Kennedy, who doubled his last time up. And the backdoor slider to the inside corner for a called strike. Doubled one off the left field fence, hit by a pitch in the 4th, and then grounded out in the 2nd. Strike 1 thrown from Sandifer. Nods twice, deals the second one home. And the count now, a ball and 1 strike to Kennedy, the DH. Sandifer standing on the third base side of the rubber. The 1-1 home. Kennedy to the left side will bounce on through just past the hustling Oletta at short. First and second here for TU with 1 out in the 7th, trailing 13-2. Back-to-back hits. First Atkins and now Kennedy. As Kennedy now 2 for 3 tonight. 8th, making now the 9th hit of the evening for the Trojans. As Sandifer and Peterson have a brief chat on the mound. And now time will be called again. Well, the assistant coach is making his way out of the dugout for Oklahoma Wesleyan. As a lefty warms up in the Oakwoo pen, we'll get that number right here. We wait for him to turn. Still can't read the number, waiting. It looks like number 18, Jordan Hill. The lefty warming up. As Sandifer, the starter, has been spectacular tonight. 9 hits scattered, 2 runs home. He's got 2 men on here. But his team has given him more than enough offensive production. And they lead 13-2. So Brett Lawson, the second baseman, about to bat for the 5th time tonight. Make it the 4th time, excuse me. He'll try to follow Atkins and Kennedy, who have singled the last 2 times up. We're in the top of the 8th. 1 run home for TU, down 13-2. Atkins lead at second. Lawson will go after the first one low, fouls it off to the right. Brett 0 for 3 tonight with an RBI ground out his most recent time up in the 6th. Hit into a double play with the bases full in the 4th. And then flew out to right field his first time up in the 3rd inning tonight. Foul ball in the first one. And this one hit high and hard to deep right field. Playing in was Colton Kelly. He gets back on his horse and somehow gets back through the track in time. Tagging and advancing to third will be Jared Atkins. A well-hit ball from Lawson. And a whole mess of ground that Kelly had to cover quickly. Second out for Taylor here in the 8th. Moves the runners to 1st and 3rd. Now bring up the first baseman, Brian Fields. Brian's first and longest extended action of the year. He had a great fall for TU before breaking his wrist. And then he's been playing, he's been on the recovery train ever since. Big, strong kid at 6'3", hard hit ball right to McGrew at second. They'll underhand it to the shortstop, Oletta covering second base. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 13-2, Oklahoma Wesleyan. Justin Pettit will come in for TU. He's the new pitcher. We'll introduce you to him when we come back from this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network. Tanner Watson re-enters and moves back to right field for Taylor. Justin Pettit, the hard-throwing right-hander, in out of the pen for TU. He's the 5th pitcher used by the Trojans tonight. And he replaces Drake Gongwer. He'll face Riley Peterson, the first baseman, to start. And then Colton Kelly, then back to the top of the order, and Austin Soika. Pitch 1, strike. Second one, a curveball, strike 2. (13-2) Oklahoma Wesleyan here in the bottom of the 8th. Peterson batting out of the 8th spot tonight. And Pettit will miss away 1-2. Justin appearing in his 12th game of the year. All out of the bullpen, a 1-0 overall record. 3.60 the ERA. He's appeared in 15 innings, this season. The 1-2 home. And Peterson fouls it off with the catcher Medica to stay alive. Peterson tonight, a ground out, a strikeout, a single, and a run scored. (15 hits tonight for Oklahoma Wesleyan, 13 runs. And the 1-2 home again. Chasing one up high is Peterson. He's down on strikes as that one foul tipped into the glove. A strike to start things off here in the 8th for Pettit. So Colton Kelly will bat now with nobody on and 1 gone. Freed Hardeman waiting the winner of this contest tomorrow at 3:30 after their 13-8 win over Cumberland. We're up 13-5 heading to the 9th. After a late push from the hard-swinging Phoenix, a bloop to the right side. There's Fields at first. He makes the catch for out number 2. Also want to mention Trevor Booth, senior, comes in. He plays at second base right now for Brett Lawson. All the rest of the defense the same. Watson re-enters, as we mentioned, playing in right. Weiss in center, Atkins in left. Taggart at third, Lane at short, Booth at second, Fields at first, Medica behind the plate, and Pettit, the man on the mound. So back to the top. 2 outs, nobody on for the third baseman, Austin Soika. Fastball. Outside half for a called strike. Soika struggled to get going here tonight. The best batter for Oklahoma Wesleyan started the night 0 for 4, reaching on an error in the 5th. Had an RBI single his last time up in the 6th. That was the last innings where runs were scored for Oklahoma Wesleyan. They put up 4 in that inning on the back of just 3 hits and a whole mess of walks by the Taylor pitchers. Soika gets some of that dirt out of his back right pocket. Puts him on his bare hands and awaits the 0-2 from Pettit. Index fingers on both hands pointing straight to the night sky. 0-2. And that one will clip the very top of the netting and keeps the count at 0-2. Pettit, the 5th pitcher used by Taylor tonight. Just 1 so far for Oklahoma Wesleyan, but it looks like that might change when we move on to the 9th. There's a liner just out of the reach of Lane at short, rolling into left center field. Soika's second hit, trying to round first, comes in. Weiss throws in a bullet. Booth, if he could field it cleanly, can't get the tag down in time. It was a good one-hop throw from Weiss, but Booth couldn't handle it cleanly there at second, and Soika came motoring around. His mind was made up as he came around for the double. 16th hit of the night for Okwoo. Their 5th extra base knock and the 2nd hit of the night for Soika. So a 2-out double for Soika brings up Rodolfo Oletta. And Oletta's been a thorn in the side of the Trojans tonight, going 4 for 5 with 2 runs batted in and a whole 3 runs scored. Actually give him 3 runs batted in tonight. And Pettit comes high and inside for a ball. Single and scored in the 1st, single and scored in the 3rd, double and scored and drove in a run in the 4th. RBI ground out in the 5th, RBI single in the 6th. And time is called as Medica will come out to talk things over with Pettit. Medica, a junior out of Texas, 2nd year here with the Trojans. Watson, the starting catcher, out there in right field. He'll be a senior, part of this highly successful senior class for the Trojans. Most wins by a senior class set here before the tournament started. And those seniors will get ready to graduate. The rest of the Taylor seniors coming up on Saturday afternoon here in the Kessler Student Activity Center, about 200 yards behind us to our left here from Winterholder Field. Soika at second after the double, and Pettit's curveball too far low, and it's 2-0 to Oletta. Oklahoma Wesleyan came in 52-6 overall. They'll pick up their 18th or 19th win away from home. Hard hit left side, right to Taggart at third, picks it up, over to first and Fields. He leans down and makes the catch for out number 3. We head to the top of the 9th. Taylor in the need of a whole host of runs, down 13-2 after 8 innings. This is the Upland Bracket, part of the 2018 NAIA opening baseball round here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Top of the 9th, then Austin Medica, the lefty catcher, will lead it off for Taylor. He'll be followed by Josh Lane and Nathan Taggart. Top of the 9th, Taylor down 13-2 to top-seeded Oklahoma Wesleyan here in the Upland Bracket. Jordan Hill, the lefty, comes in here for Oakwoo. A 2.57 ERA, making his 9th appearance on the hill here for the Eagles. And the fastball low to Medica in his first at-bat here tonight for ball 1. The starter, Ryan Sandifer, went 8 innings, scattered 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned. No walks, 2 hit batsmen, 4 strikeouts on 112 pitches. Medica pulls one to right field. It falls in for a leadoff single here in the 9th. Faking the throw is Kelly, the right fielder. We mentioned in the first how the nickname Barrelsville started for the Oakwoo Ball Club for their home field back there in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. We talked about how center field's 355 feet, just over 340 to the corners. Be interesting to find out how these outfielders having to play in a deeper outfield here today by 40 yards to center field for a guy like Acosta Tapia, and then an extra 20 feet to the corners for your corner infields, how that would affect them or how they have to get ready for it or something like that. I'm sure they have to do that when you get ready and go on the road. We were told there's one other field in that Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference that Oklahoma Wesleyan calls home that's of a smaller size, similar to one that Oakwoo plays at. So not the first time they've had to play on the road, but they've played 34 games at their home field. So the comforts of home might be tough to break sometimes. Jonathan Foster in here running for Medica at first. And a strike to Josh Lane with nobody out, top of the 9th. Taylor down 13-2. Second one to Lane. He'll swing and miss at 1 away. Now he's down 0-2. Lane 1 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. Was 1 for 4 against Northwestern earlier today with a double. Ten hits on the night for the Trojans. They are just down by double-figure runs. The 0-2. This one ripped into left, but right to the left fielder who slides in. That's Lantigua. Going back to first is Foster. 1 out for Taylor here in the 9th. Some well-hit balls tonight for the Trojans, but right to infielders or outfielders. Ground out to third last time up for Nathan Taggart. He's the third baseman here for TU. 0 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. The 2 ground outs and lined into a double play with the bases full. Back in the second. First one foul to the net. Jonathan Foster running for Austin Medica, the catcher, over at first after a leadoff single to right field. 13-2 the lead for Oakwoo. Taylor batting here at the top of the ninth with 1 gone. 0-1. Taggart swings and misses. It's now 0-2. As Jordan Hill locked in here after that leadoff single allowed to Taggart. No one eliminated after today's first day of action. We'll send 2 teams home tomorrow in our first and last games of the day. 0-2. Off the end of the bat, lapshing at it and sending it to right field. Taggart's first hit of the night moves Foster up to second. And 2 on with 1 out for the right fielder, senior Tanner Watson. We mentioned how good Sandifer was. He wasn't even the best pitcher on the roster this year for Oklahoma Wesleyan. That was Tyson Cronin, the 6-foot junior out of Lakewood, Ohio, who transferred in from Pierce College. Cody Tate will come in to run for Taggart over at first. Cronin, the unanimous pitcher of the year in the KCAC. Got a hunch we'll probably see him tomorrow in that winner's bracket game at 3:30. As Tanner Watson steps in here. 2 hard hit balls tonight. He's 2 for 4. The last one, a drop fly ball by Lantigua on the warning track. Put him at second to lead things off, an inning ago. An off-speed one from Hill to start, called strike 1. It's Foster at second, and Tate now running at first here for Taggart. So 2 juniors on the bases with the senior Watson here at the plate. The 0-1 from Hill, inside, bending around the right fielder Watson, snagged by the catcher Peterson for Oakwoo. Watson came into the night the 3rd best batting average for the Trojans at .345. The 1-1 home from Hill. Watson sits on it. That one will bounce just foul to the left of third base. Landed just in front of the third base bag. If it curls inside the bag, with the speed out there between Foster and Tate, would have definitely scored Foster and had a chance to score Tate as well from first. Instead, it's a ball and 2 strikes to Watson, the right fielder, with 1 out and the 2 men still on. 13-2 the deficit here for Taylor in the top of the ninth with 1 gone. Hill, the second pitcher used tonight from Oakwoo, the first one out of the pen. The 1-2 home to Watson. Low, covered up by Peterson. And the count levels at 2 apiece. The 2-2 home. Outside corner freezes Watson for strike 3. Expertly placed fastball there from Hill. Tanner down on strikes for the first time today. First K for Hill. And Taylor down to their last out here in Sam Weiss, their center fielder. Sam 0 for 4 tonight here against Oklahoma Wesleyan. Had 2 hits against Northwestern College earlier today, including the walk-off winner in the bottom of the ninth. That's ball 1 on the first pitch, bouncing in short. (13-2) the Taylor deficit here at the top of the ninth, facing the best team they've played all season here in Oklahoma Wesleyan. Ball 1 to Weiss. Second one inside corner to the crowding right-handed bat of Sam Weiss. Evens it up at 1-1. Tate stands at first. Foster stands at second for the Trojans. Hill sets at the stomach. 1-1 home. Inside half again, off speed makes it 1-2. Weiss disagreed with the call, but about the same spot in the last two pitches there from Hill. Trojans down to their final strike here at the top of the ninth. A ball and 2 strikes to Weiss with 2 men on. Taylor down 13-2 here in the top of the ninth. Hill sets the belly button. The 1-2 comes home. Weiss will protect, and he'll send this one in the sky to right. Jogging in, Colton Kelly underneath, and there's out number 3 here for Oklahoma Wesleyan. So they'll win our game tonight by a final of 13-2. They improve to 52-6 on the season. And we'll recap this one on the Ivanhoe's postgame show when we come back from this commercial break.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on Scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Back here on the Ivanhoe's postgame show, Rick Johnson now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Gould. And Kyle, knew it would be a tough task going against the best ERA in the country, the best offense in the country in Oklahoma Wesleyan. They gave you plenty of opportunities with 4 errors. Yet double plays come up and rear their ugly head again. You leave 12 batters on base tonight. What was the biggest reason you guys just weren't able to maybe take one of those advantages that Oklahoma Wesleyan gave you early after they jumped out to the 2-0 lead?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we'd have to answer. We were going to have to score runs. So, we had bases loaded, 1 out. First and second, nobody out. Second and third, 1 out. And 4, I think it was second through the 5th, I believe. And we came out of that with 1 run. And I think, they're trying, they're trying. We put together some great at-bats tonight and hit some balls really hard. Mm-hmm. I think if we get a big hit, if we split a gap there, or, hit a double and all of a sudden we get 3 runs, or if we can, during that stretch, if we go 4 or 5 runs, I think you make them play with a little bit of pressure. And that's kind of the thing with a 1 seed. You want to get to the 6th, 7th inning, have it be close, and have them kind of feel the pressure. And we couldn't do that. And then their offense was they just don't stop. That lineup just keeps going and going and going and going. And so, some of the pitches we made, like if some of the teams we play, like in our league, you hang a pitch like that, they get a single. Rob comes in and hangs a slider, and they hit it on the track. And so, but what a great opportunity for us to play a team like that under the lights. I mean, what a beautiful setting here. And, just couldn't get it done tonight.
Huge crowd here on hand once again, best crowd of the year. But let's kind of take a big look forward here. as you look at it, obviously most successful senior class in program history will graduate on Saturday, but you had a lot of young guys out there. Justin Pettit, a sophomore, Drake Gongwer, a freshman, and a lot of youngsters up and down the order. Playing a team like this, easily the best team you've played all year, what can that do going forward, not just for your second game here at 24 hours or maybe 22 hours from now, tomorrow night here, but also moving forward as you look to get the program to Lewiston, which is the ultimate goal for this team?
Well, I think it can be good if we grow from it. And I think, you saw with some of the pitchers, some of the young guys, they came in just throwing their fastball for a strike. It doesn't work against a team like that. And when you can throw multiple pitches for a strike, you got a shot. It still didn't guarantee anything. And I think you saw that when Drake's second inning, he found that breaking ball and just threw it with better intent. And then all of a sudden it was a good inning. Justin came in throwing both pitches well, had a really good inning. And I think that was the same thing with Tucker. When he had 3 pitches going, he was pretty good. And so I think that, and I think for our hitters, I think you saw some really good at-bats. I think when you go back and look at the box score, there's some really good things. Double-digit hits that we just didn't necessarily get them at the right time. But, if we play Northwestern again, obviously they're a good team, and Cumberland is, one of the top home run teams. So we're going to play a good team tomorrow night, and I'm just going to challenge the guys to bounce back, and another great opportunity to play here under the lights against a great team in a national tournament setting.
What's the plan for the team tomorrow? Obviously, nothing tomorrow. It'll be muggy again. Probably just tell the guys, get into the air conditioning, watch us online to see you're going to play tomorrow, obviously, and then, just stay rested for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they'll just sleep, I hope. It's been a long day, but, we appreciate, Mark DeMichael and Sam Riggleman are the tournament administrators, and they've been fantastic, and Jess has kind of handled all the event stuff, and, of course, again, Rick, you and Seth, the sports information coverage you guys provide is unparalleled in the NAIA, and I think when you look at I know all the coaches in this bracket feel and appreciate what you guys do, and so we're appreciative. We're excited to host, and this team's been consistent all year. You don't win 44 games if you're not consistent, so I would expect this team to come back and compete really hard tomorrow night.
Kyle, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Rick.
That's Kyle Gould joining us here on the Ivanhoe's postgame show. Taylor falls tonight, dropping the record to 44-15. Oklahoma Wesleyan takes the win. They move to 52-6. So our schedule for tomorrow looks like this. Our first game of the day, Northwestern will take on Cumberland in our first losers bracket game. That comes up at high noon tomorrow. Freed Hardeman and Oklahoma Wesleyan will do battle at 3:30. That's our first winners bracket of the bracket game. The winner of that game will move on to our first championship game on Wednesday night. And then our nightcap tomorrow night, Taylor will take on the winner of that first game tomorrow between Northwestern and Cumberland. Special thanks to our on-site producer, Hannah Goebel. She ran the first and third games today. Hannah, thank you very much. We thank the rest of the folks up here as well. Sports information to Seth Michael, Kyle Condon as well for making food runs for us and getting us cookies, which are the most important things we had today, and drinks. And we will talk to you folks tomorrow. Game day 1 in the books here, the Upland bracket. First time, as we mentioned, that Taylor has ever hosted an opening round site. We had 3 really exciting games at different points today, for depending on who you cheered for. A walk-off win there in game 1 for Taylor. A lot of offense there for Freed Hardeman and Oklahoma Wesleyan putting their foot down here, putting up 13 runs in our nightcap. So we'll talk to you tomorrow at noon when Northwestern and Cumberland will decide who will move on and whose season will come to a close. Our first elimination game tomorrow should be a good one between Northwestern and Cumberland. We say goodnight from Upland, Indiana. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon as the Upland bracket restart tomorrow at high noon.